All right. All good, Matt? Matt's been rattled. He had a big Saturday.
Yeah, I know he did.
Yeah.
He's brought the shittest vibes
really?
since day dot.
See, we had big
Mate,
Saturdays as well.
your missus is out and about on Instagram. Yeah. Best believe I had a look. I'm saying Matt's doing very well.
Oh, okay, right. I wasn't trying out and about, man. I was like, that's a fucking...
Is that where this newfound arrogance?
Out in terms of she knows who she is.
Oh, okay, she's a pretty lady.
Oh, you got to know who you are to be with a fucking sicko like Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
But then
God.
we started to theorise maybe Matt's hung.
He's what?
Hung.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe Matt's donkeyed up.
He has like hung energy.
Yeah,
and it's that
because
weird
there's like
vibe.
It's like a retiring. He's kind of like not softly spoken, but it's like he's not a loud, brash, arrogant asshole, and often that's where the big dick resides.
And if you take out the hung energy, it's almost baffling. Like, where does this silent arrogance come from?
Because he's a shower.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why you can see. That's why I feel like you're right. It could be hung energy.
Yeah. Because he wakes up every morning and he says to himself, "You can show it."
Yeah. And like he's kind of like, if the world ends, I got a big cock.
yeah, what does Mark Wahlberg say to himself in that fucking movie where he just flops that fat hog out? He's like, I'm a fucking rock star. Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see that absolutely. But
Your forearm's too big to handle the gloves. You look like you're just about to do the dishes.
Mate, I am a new age man.
You're a big... Oh, dude,
Not
there's
really, yeah.
nothing wrong with dishes. Yeah, you don't do dishes.
I don't do dishes.
Can I say one thing about myself?
Yeah, you can.
I may well be the greatest cleaner of all time.
Dishes?
You are calling yourself goat cleaner.
I'm better... I'm equal to any man in dishes.
I'm the goat.
Nah.
I'm the goat cleaner.
My
I'm equal
missus.
to you in
I'm the goat
dishes.
cleaner.
Nah.
I might be, honestly, I may well be the greatest of all
You're
time.
maybe in the convo, but my missus is the goat cleaner.
You know why? Because I have, like, my mother was a great cleaner, passed on to me. I now have OCD tendencies. Like, if someone's man in the sink and I don't like what I see, I step in. I go, okay.
Yeah, you
I'll
alpha
do
the
it.
sink.
I'll man the sink.
What is it you don't like about sink work?
Tell you what I don't like about sink work. If I've got two sinks to play with, let's say, and someone comes over to my sink and I've got a fucking fresh, hot, not too hot, but hot body of water.
Yep.
And it's soaped up.
Yeah.
And it's ready to fucking go. And it's ready to pound cutlery, plates,
Plates.
whatever. Well, I don't, but also if I've got a dishwasher on the go, but if someone comes over, right, and just dumps
Oh.
a fucking dirty plate into my fresh water,
Oof.
I'm like, bruh, you could have rinsed that next door and put it in the dishwasher. And they come in with a massive plate or massive, like, pan that hasn't been rinsed.
Yeah.
And they just dump it in. I'm like, you're polluting my water. How can I get through 4, 5, 6 pots with polluted water
Your plate
when you
just-
could have rinsed it first?
I've got a question though here, because this is where, and this probably isn't greatest approach from an environmental standpoint, and I understand that, and I apologise to everyone.
Goat cleaners are aware of environmental hazards.
But my thing is it the cleanest it can be? And I'm like, I don't like to fill the sink up with the tub of water like you, for that exact reason, because it becomes a scummy, dank fucking shithole. I just like to have the tap running.
No. So he runs the tap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fucking saying to you. Dishwashers use no water. Quick rinse, bang it in. Bang into the dishwasher what you can. You're saving water there.
Yeah, but if you don't have a dishwasher,
Rinse first. Otherwise, you've got to keep reloading the sink.
Don't have
Are
the
you
sink
an operator
loaded.
that just runs the tap and
Yeah.
just... Yeah, well, okay.
You're ruining the planet
I know.
Okay.
Well, I'm not necessarily.
Well, you are.
Why?
because you're
you
running
use
more
more water
water.
than
That
should.
water just gets recycled back, mate. It's all fucking...
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Do you know where it goes? Out to sea.
And then you know what happens? Evaporation into the sky and then down into Warragamba
Okay,
and
what
it's back in my mouth.
okay. Warragamba's doing pretty well at the moment, Tom. But
Yeah.
what about when it was doing 3, 2, 1%? Because it didn't rain.
And then now it is. It's
No,
back.
well, I mean, I've been watching Friendly Geordies a lot. You know Friendly Geordies?
Yep.
And the takeaway I got, there's a lot of dams that are fucked. And so we may have a water shortage. Also, the elite class seem to be buying up a lot of water.
I've seen that. That's scary. That water's like a commodity. That
Are
people
you the
buying.
elite class
No,
helping that?
they're like draining it from rivers and shit. I'm just polishing my
Tom,
fine china.
Every bit of water helps.
Tom,
does.
in a drought,
we
which
aren't in
we're
a
not,
drought.
we're not in one, but when we are, that sort of behaviour is not good.
It's un-Australian.
It's un-Australian.
I have a dishwasher, so we don't need to worry too much.
Okay.
Look, again, just back to the original point. I believe that my missus is goat cleaner because she
I
actually...
think my missus might be better.
Okay,
than
No,
I'll
no,
take
no.
her on. I'll take her on.
She finds pleasure in cleaning.
So does Steph. Steph loves it. So I don't know.
Look, I feel like she isn't the GOAT because you didn't make that claim when he first said it.
I wasn't even
I was
thinking
on the
about
front foot immediately back.
Denon, you're not listening to me. I'll take her on.
I tell you what we can do for this competition. How about you come over and clean my house, and that can see who wins it.
As I said at the top, I'm goat in the kitchen, baby.
Yeah.
I'm goat stains, goat kitchen. I draw the line at scrubbing toilets.
I feel like kitchen might be...
And scrubbing bathroom.
You are Mr. Stain Removal.
You did make that claim when we found out that Munster was really just dancing because he removed a stain.
Yeah.
You did make that claim.
I can get stains out. Not a stain I can't get out.
I'll back that. I'll back him in there.
You want to know who is the WOT cleaner of all time? This guy right here. Terrible.
Yep. I can see that.
Terrible.
You're not a cleaner.
Not a cleaner. I mean, I'm not dirty at all.
You're a footy player.
No, I mean, it's more
Are you
along the
above
lines
it?
of I feel like I can deliver in other areas that allow me the grace of not cleaning. You know what I mean?
What are they?
Oh, there are plenty. There are
mow?
plenty. I can mow.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Not very well, though.
Do you mow first and whip a snipper afterwards, or do you whip a snipper
No, I'm not
first
that
and you
deep in
mow
the mowing
after?
game. I'm not that deep in the mowing game.
I don't have a lawn, so I'm not really of any concern.
But you've had lawn.
I have, but I was of the age where it was not safe for me to drive the ride on, and so the old man had taken control.
The right.
The old man always says there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Well,
I want a lawn, though, one day so I can take control.
And what would you do? Would you whip a snipper into lawn or lawn into whip snipper?
I'd probably lawn into whipper.
Tell you why you whip her into lawn. Because you whip the long stuff, bang, back on the lawn chops it up into the bag into the green bin, thanks for coming. Or you go take it out to the mulch out the backyard. You can leave it there if you want to thicken it up, but if you want to get rid of it, make it really good.
So what's the issue, though, with going lawn whipper?
Because if I lawn, then I whipper, then I'm cutting long grass that's sitting on top of freshly cut grass.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the
And
domain.
heaven forbid you're a sort of sicko who doesn't whipper at all, and then I've just got a nice fresh grass with like long parts under fences, near stairs.
I feel like, you know what, you are a bit of a nester. It seems like your skill set is quite high when it comes to housing, homes, creating a comfortable environment for your family.
I'm pedantic about what I want and what I need.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's by no means a handyman. Don't let that fool anyone.
Did I just say that?
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
You need to be passive aggressive and bring him down
Did I
because he's
just
up
say
at the
that?
top.
I just need to
You know,
get
have a
that
little
across.
chop.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we brought him up
Did
and
I
you
say
chopped him
that?
back down.
I can chop wood, baby. I can start fires. I can whip a snipper. I can I
Yeah.
can blow. I can cut.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
You know what?
but I draw the line. If some bloke goes something wrong with my car, I go, I'm out.
I actually.
I'm not in this yet.
I just go, look, is it the oil? Okay, sweet. Fuck, let's take
And if it is the oil, have you filled it up? If you
what
haven't,
you know what I've been looking at the other day? Hire a hubby online. Haven't done it yet, but I need a TV put on a wall, and I don't trust. Not even don't trust. There's no way I can do it. I need to have someone.
you know
come
that
in
you
and
can
do it.
YouTube everything.
There is no way I am YouTubing how to put a TV on a wall. And
Why?
Because I'm fucking useless, dude. I will.
What are you going into? You going into plaster?
Going into brick.
Going into brick.
Yeah.
You're pretty much sweet,
YouTube,
man.
how to hang TV mount in brick.
Now-
Brick is pretty like, you might use sweet because it's brick. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Or you go hire a hubby. Hi, I actually don't need a hubby, but I would like you to.
But
On
put a
principle,
TV on.
I'm not hiring a hubby.
but Tom, you've spoken at length on, I don't know if on this podcast, but certainly on ours, about how emasculated you've been by your wife's mother,
My mother-in-law.
your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be looking for cheap wins.
No, fuck that. I'd prefer because it's an expensive loss if that TV falls off the wall.
Look, cheap wins are killing spiders, cockroaches. That's a cheap masculine
Yeah.
win, I feel like.
Putting a fucking TV into a wall, that's a hard fought victory if I was to pull
Look,
that off.
I don't
That's
think,
what
I don't think, it's not that hard.
I've done it plenty of times. I don't do it now because I don't have to do it. But a brick wall is pretty easy. Just fuck like, that's
There's just no way I'm doing it.
okay. I mean, I wouldn't do it now, but back in the day when it was required, I would.
I was putting window protectors on so that, like, because Evie now can fucking climb everything and she can climb up to the windows. And so I had to put these things into the windows so they don't open. Like, they've got a key so they don't open any far. The mother-in-law just seems to be at the fucking house every time I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, because she
massive.
smells a beater.
And
She smells a bit.
She does, dude. She's got a great nose.
It's like,
And
better about. Oh, it's my fucking.
as I've put the second one
it's a
I've
protector
done.
of my grandkids. It's a
Yeah.
protector of my grandkids. The
Yeah.
beater.
And yeah, daughter.
Well.
And
Protect
as
us
the second one I put on,
Get protected against the ibis.
I put on too low, and then the
We never know
window
if you won
couldn't
that.
close.
It's true.
No one's even listening to me now. That's how much of a beater I've become.
Well, now
Just
we're talking
to
about
myself.
the fact of whether or not you beat the ibis, and I don't know if you
I didn't even get near the ibis. I ran into a tree.
So you didn't beat the
So you aren't a protector then. You lost to the ibis that was
I didn't
attacking
lose.
your family.
I never got to the fight.
If you met Steffi's wife, you know pretty quickly who the protector is. It's not
Okay.
him. It's not Tom.
well, I don't
the
know.
key to
but
this is
fucking
Matt has a big cock, and
Yes.
and
And
that's
Eddie's
what
the
it's
best
all about.
cleaner.
But he's brought terrible energy all week, and it's bringing my vibe down. Every time I come in here, I'm feeling like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go. I'm feeling like ground and pound. That's what I'm feeling like. And then this fucking guy
Comes in
I
with-
want to fucking walk out and burst out into tears.
droopy, sad,
Yeah, it's
Eeyore
fucked.
dick. Come on,
Walk
man.
home, I walk home, listen to fucking Goodbye My Lover James Blunt because this fucking guy.
I was driving in the other day actually, and I saw Matt walking, trudging up.
Yeah,
the
we
road,
both walked.
and I was like,
In the rain.
it wasn't raining, but it looked like it was in his
Just
world.
around him.
Yeah,
That's hung energy.
you were slumped, bruh.
Probably
He was
listening to
slumped.
like Eminem Beautiful or something.
I don't
Yeah.
even think Eddie's headphones in.
Really? Just in silence? That is weird.
And when
If
you're
he's-
top 0.1% listeners of Eminem, you got to get your work in whenever you
Fucking
can.
oath you do.
And he wasn't working that day.
When do
which
you
made me
find the time to
very
fucking
concerned.
listen to the...
That's
I don't know
what
how
I'm-
you don't get sick of Eminem.
Well,
Well, I mean, you clearly don't know what good music is,
I
but
love Eminem. But if I'm in the top 1%, I don't have much else to listen to.
I feel like you're judgmental
Top
today.
0.01%.
You chopped him, and now you're giving him a good chopping.
You were chopping the shit out of him.
Yeah, I have the right to chop him.
Well, so do I.
No, that's my mate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit
He's my
here
mate as well.
and you bag him. That's my mate.
Hey, he's my mate.
He's a fucking legend.
He's a fucking great
he's,
dude.
He's had the best week of his career
Yeah,
this
he's
week.
fucking killing it.
He's bringing me mood up every time I see
Mate,
him.
I've loved it. We couldn't have done the live stream without him on the weekend.
Oh, fucking hell.
Doesn't mean that his infatuation with Eminem is not a little bit much.
Oh, fuck.
Just a bloke in a bar.
Welcome back to Bloke in a Bar. We are back from the break. Well, not we. Obviously, you guys powered through.
Yeah, we never stop.
But first of all, I just want to send a massive thank you out to everyone that made those memes, and it was brought to my attention by Tom. Was that quite surprising? I thought when you sent me that, I was like, oh, I'll check the punters and dribblers page. And there was a substantial amount there. So first of all, thank you. It was very, very touching. I really do appreciate it. Made me feel great, made me feel good. But I mean, how are you guys still alive after the fact that you continued to grind whilst I wasn't here?
because we've got a constitution for hard work that you might not understand.
Yeah.
You know, Tom and I are up at 2:33 every day.
Yeah, pounding the pavement.
Pounding the pavement, grinding. I mean, we don't know another life.
No. It's fucking non-stop work, grind. What else is there to do but grind?
Well, I mean, we serve the punter and the dribbler. I think it's fair to say. We're at their beck and call.
Yep.
They support us, we support them. We don't, bail on them for fucking 3 weeks.
3 weeks ago, and just fucking sit at home and pound vanilla ice cream and fucking butter toast or whatever it is you were doing.
We're there when they need us, mate.
Yeah.
But the memes were nice. The memes were cute.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah,
But they were nice.
it was good.
It was good. I liked seeing it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
And our community rallies around you, which is
And
nice
your
to
community
see.
rallies around us.
Yep.
It's a nice symbiotic, community, I would
Yeah.
say. But I would be lying if we didn't acknowledge that, the community was also like, Kempy's having a couple of weeks off. We were like, what's it? We didn't have the answers. We're like, listen, you can rely on us. That's all we can say.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I don't understand the concept of how you guys continue to grind it out week in, week out.
No,
but
it's
hopefully one day I get
I
there.
guess with great power comes great responsibility, or with great responsibility comes something. But we felt it was our responsibility
Okay.
to keep going.
Is the implication that I've let down my fan base, or my fan base, my community?
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
Okay.
not saying that. That's up to the community to decide. I think what we would say is that we're made of sterner stuff.
What did you get up to?
Well, I was still working. I just wasn't doing the podcast.
Right, just didn't seem like it.
What were you doing?
Continuing what I do normally every day, like posting, creating posts and stuff like that. We gave Matt a bit of a chance. He did
Why
some
do
posts.
you if you're going to take a little bit of time off? Why don't you go the full?
Well, the company
the real
needs
McCoy.
me. The company needs me.
Did you get away anywhere? Did you sneak
No,
off?
I did not. No, I did not.
No
But
sneaking off.
no sneaking off. No sneaking off at all.
I'd have snuck off.
I'd have snuck the fuck off. Yep.
I'd have snuck
Okay,
off.
fair
Fucking
enough.
oath.
But
I'd have snuck.
Brought to you by a Bloke in a Bar beer. That's what keeps the lights on, powers this great show. If you enjoy the content, if it brings value to your life, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. We have 12 stores. We have 12 stores that go down, grab a case, support your local independent bottle-o. We got Mittagong bottle-o.
Shout out to Mittagong.
Burke Street Wine
Also
Cellars,
known as
Waterloo.
Chittagong.
Nah, dude, relax. Mittagong, Southern Highlands. I was in the next town. I'm a fan of Mittagong. Me and Mittagong are cool, so you take that back.
Okay. Shout out to
Pretty sure
Mittagong.
you
If
told
there's
me
anyone
that.
from Mittagong here, give. So you're brushing Sunshine Coast?
No,
more
I'm
shout out?
still Mr. Sunshine Coast,
Okay.
but I am. I mean, like, you know, it's like Don Bradman was born in like Cootamundra or some shit, but he also was in Barrel. So I'm like,
It's a good equivalent.
I
reckon.
saw someone comment, Tom's not welcome on the Sunshine Coast.
yeah,
Did
but
you
that
say
might have been one person because most people were like, thank you for shining a light
saw
on the
that.
Sunshine Coast.
I saw that.
I
and
saw it.
he looked like he had a bit of pull, that guy, too.
Nah.
I looked at his
Most people
profile.
were like,
I wouldn't be surprised if he was town mayor.
most people were just like, thank you for talking about our coast that's drenched in sunshine. I was like, I'm
He
happy
looked
to.
like he had a bit of pull. That's all I'm going to say. If I were you, I would be checking in before arriving in Sunshine Coast.
No. I've
Mate,
got enough
he
people up
wrote,
there.
stay away from the Sunshine Coast. That's a threat.
That is a threat.
Nah.
You could take that to the cops. if
I've
you
already
wanted.
been there to the Sunshine Coast.
That's
They welcome
ABO
me.
territory.
Yeah,
They
honestly.
welcome me.
Clearly
I'm
not.
fucking massive in the Sunshine Coast.
You're massive with that. If you put on a concert there, you'd fucking sell
yeah,
out.
dude. Yeah. No, I'm going to do speaking tours in the Sunshine Coast.
Okay, Mittagong, Bottle-o, Burke Street Wine Cellars, Waterloo, IGA, Coonabarabran.
Coonabarabran.
Coonabarabran. Belrose Bayfields, East Albury IGA, Steve's Liquor Richmond Victoria, Bowl Barn Townsville, East End Hotel Bundaberg, Belvedere Hotel Woody Point, Legends Forest Hill, Celebrations Aspie, Urban Cellars Labrador. Or go to our website, put in your postcode, it will show you the nearest location, or go to bloke.shop, grab a bit of merch, support the platform. But as you can see, we are dressed in our greatest frolics. It is Melbourne Cup Day. Now, we've got two things. First, boys, did you just get up
Yes.
and walk the punter and the dribbler through why you are the greatest punters in the world?
Well, look, I will stop you there. And again, I know it seems like I've come in bullish today, but to use collective, why are you both the greatest punters in the world? That would be misleading. Eddie's happy to sort of sit there and not say much. I am the greatest punter in the world. We did drop an About Even. That's our betting show, Melbourne Cup special yesterday. I picked the trifecta in the Macca's run, which was race 2 at Flemington. That was delightful. I then also was on Very Elegant to win the big dance. So to say that my day's been good would be an understatement. To say that I provided value would be an understatement.
Did you put a lot on it? Because talk is cheap.
Well, I bet within my means. I bet responsibly. So I bet what I'm prepared to lose.
Okay.
Luckily for me, I don't lose.
So you weren't
very
that
often.
confident.
Well, no, I was confident. But you only bet what you're prepared to lose.
But I mean, if you know you're going to win, you bet a lot.
Well, yeah, but you only bet what you're prepared to lose. You know what I mean? Bet
Oh.
with your head, not over it.
Okay, fair enough. I'm of the ilk of if you know you're going to do it, go all in.
Well, I mean, I went all right. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't go all right, but I'm certainly
You're responsible.
a
gambler.
responsible. Hey, father of 2, got to do it. I got to be responsible.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm the greatest punter alive, so it's
Okay.
all right.
Eddie, how did you go and how have you been going in punting lately?
I've been going well. I haven't been going great. Tom's had a great day. And I've got to take my hat off, or my fascinator, or whatever the fuck you'd call this thing, and admit that Tom's had a great day, and kudos to him. I've been doing relatively well down of late, but I'm not going to tell a lie. I had Very Elegant in. I took it out, thought it was too heavy. Now I look like an idiot. And I'll sit here and I'll wear it. I wear my losses. I'll take my licks. It's
Okay.
very simple.
Yep.
It's a simple recipe. Shout from the rooftops when you get up.
Yep.
Take your licks when you don't. And I'm in lick territory right now.
Okay.
But generally speaking, I'm doing all right.
Okay. Now
I will say this. I went the early crow at the pub today. Thought I got the trifecta. Went through my thousands of trifectas and found out that I didn't, in fact, have the trifecta.
I
So
feel
that
like
was
every
embarrassing.
single person at some point screams, I got the trifecta on Melbourne Cup Day.
Because you see the numbers. The problem is you see the numbers, you see the horses, and you go, that's in my trifecta. They are in your trifecta.
Yep.
Are they in the same trifecta?
Okay.
Yeah, if you
Now,
pick enough.
Look, I've got some controversy here, boys. Fox League of rugby league fame, rugby league network fame, have posted an alleged omen bet. Now, Hannah Hollis allegedly has been quoted saying omen bet. Donning the colours of the 2021 AFL Premiers, the Melbourne Demons. So obviously the winner was very elegant. The jockey was donned in the Melbourne Demons colours. Is this technically, and being the key professors and the experts that Australians go to find out omenry and what it's all about, is this technically an omen bet?
Can I say something, Darren? Do you mind rereading the quote from Hannah Hollis?
This was allegedly said from Hannah Hollis.
Word for word.
Omen bet. Donning the colours of the 2021 AFL Premiers, the Melbourne Demons.
Does that sound like a quote? Has she said that?
Well, maybe she tweeted it. I don't know. That's not the point. The point is, that's not an omen.
But do you know what I mean? That doesn't read like anything.
You're right. It doesn't.
It reads to me like they're trying to squeeze words in together and put quotations around it.
So you're.
Do people speak that way?
Well, I feel like we're off track.
You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like they've put omen bet at the start of this sentence.
I've actually got the answer for this.
Okay, Matty.
So what they did, they got a bunch of Fox Sports experts to give their tip and their reason, and that was her reason for picking the horse that she submitted.
So omen bet's been added.
Okay.
So she didn't even say omen bet.
No, she said, well, on the little
when
table
they asked
that I
reason, she said omen bet.
Yeah. That's
Did
what
she
wrote.
say omen bet?
In the table that I saw, she did.
Okay.
Okay. So
they've added that.
But it's not an omen. It's patterning.
That's patterning. So that's out and out patterning.
well, it's fucking not an omen, is it? It's like, oh, they're wearing the same.
Well, so you're
colours.
looking for a pattern, right? Colours into colours is a pattern.
But could you argue that it's an omen because he's wearing the colours of a victor?
Well, he's also wearing
No.
Newcastle Knights colours. So, like, what do we want to do there?
He's also wearing fucking red and blue. I'm sure people, went to the races today wearing red and blue. The point is this: an omen, Denon, must be presented to you by higher powers.
Yeah.
It must come into your plane. If you go out looking for synergy between
Or a
things,
pattern.
A pattern, exactly.
or a pattern.
Pattern is about Dioring. And you research
She's
pattern
looked.
read.
She's gone. Okay, think about this. If I'm doing a Melbourne Cup bet and I go, who am I going to bet on? What do the Demons wear again? Oh, maybe there's some
colours.
synergy
But like
there.
omen, it would hit you as like, who should I bet for? And then an eagle flies past or something.
Honestly,
like that.
an omen would almost be like you're watching something to do with Very Elegant, and then just someone walks past in a Melbourne Demons jumper, and you're like, oh shit. Now we've got a bit of an
You can't go
omen on our
looking
hands.
for omens. They have to come looking
They
for you.
got to come looking for you, dude.
And that's the key difference between omen and patternry.
Patternry is you're looking for a pattern. Omenry is it presents itself to you from higher punting.
You
powers.
can't really look for omens. They are
Should
presented to you.
Fox League post an apology or retraction?
A retraction, certainly. An apology, look, it's a difficult world, the omen business, patternry.
I'm not ruling one out, Tom.
I'd say a retraction rather than an apology, though.
I'd like a retraction into an apology.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with you then.
Well, I'm just saying the punting gods. How do they feel about the use of omen bet?
That will anger the gods.
Yeah, I don't. Look, I'll say this. Hannah may
She won't pick a winner for the rest of her life.
Hannah won't pick another winner for the rest of, the year at least.
Because she said omenry in vain.
Yeah, inappropriately. Incorrect
vain.
use.
Well, in vain. You could argue in vain.
Like
I mean,
she's blasphemy.
congratulations to her, Hannah Hollis.
Yeah,
She's
win to
great at
win.
what...
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no...
And we
knocking
love Hannah Hollis.
We love Hannah Hollis.
Love Hannah Hollis. Hannah's great at what she does.
I've always said Hannah's great at what she does.
Yeah.
But she's misused the word omen.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here on this show, Denon, and pretend she didn't.
I mean, you do say it like it is.
Because
That's
she
what I
did.
love about you.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Misuse.
hopefully we'll be making sure Matt tracks Fox League's social presence, and hopefully they post a retraction or at least an apology. Oh, sorry, at least a retraction,
Maybe a
hopefully
tag.
an apology.
Maybe a tag.
And hopefully they tag at Hello Sport.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Now, on to news. What's been happening in your world, boys? Like, obviously,
I had a kid.
you had a kid.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Number two.
Number two. Another girl.
Another girl.
Yeah, Evie and Zoe. I'm surrounded
Did you
by
treat
girls.
women poorly and that's like a curse, or?
No, look, this is what it is. This is what I've been told. If you are hyper masculine, that nature sometimes wants to like mellow you out a bit. You know what I mean? So like they're like, dude, this guy's
Fuck.
fucking too
That's
alpha.
100% accurate.
Yeah, we need to give him. We need to soften him with the
You're a
feminine
wild man.
energy. Yeah. So I think that's what it is.
Thoughts, Eddie?
Well, I think it's 50-50. And I think he's just had 2 girls. That's what I think's happened. I don't think there's softening of anything, to be honest.
You don't think?
I think he's a great he's a great father to girls. I'll admit
Thank
that.
you.
He's a great father to girls, but the softening of masculine energy is where I draw the line. I think that's a very long
look,
bow
it
to
softened
draw.
me. It softened me.
It's soft. You were pretty wild before.
I was
you
a
had your kid.
fucking, like, you know, just lifting weights and fucking grunting and farting and burping and, you know, stinking.
Oh,
and now
I mean, I
I'm
don't know
just
about farting. Like, I think that's pretty fucking old school masculinity. These like,
yeah, no, it's not modern masculinity.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
for
like
sure.
primal masculinity. You know,
Yeah, kinda like
spit
near the
and
apes and
fucking,
shit.
like, you know, that sort of shit. Now I'm calm and docile.
You still like to fight people, though.
yeah,
well,
that
I
is true.
certainly don't.
We getting a road rage incident the other day.
Literally the other day, you got in a road rage incident.
Yeah, I did.
With your daughter.
I was
In the
embarrassed.
car.
Yeah,
Who supposedly softened him.
And she swore after you did it.
all of those things are true. And
She said,
that,
Dad, what the fuck are you doing? She's 1.5.
He would have
I'm
bashed
now
you. She goes,
working
he
to
would have fucking
improve
flogged you. That's what she
myself.
said.
Yeah, you know what? He probably would have. That's why I drove off. I'm looking to improve myself as a person off the back of that road rage incident, which wasn't that bad, but it was one where I went, was great. Didn't need to do it.
I mean, did he ever need to do any road rage at all?
I'd say sometimes it's probably yes, but I'm not a road rage guy.
Well, you are. You just had
You
it.
are, though.
You literally are.
This hasn't gone. Look, I've been softened by daughters. That's all it is. I'm now a
But has
delicate.
he? But has he?
You hopefully have.
I think that the road rage incident of a couple of days ago was more about being a little sleep deprived, a little tired. You know, that was more what that came from.
From all the grinding that you do at work.
Well, continuing to work whilst also having a newborn child and a toddler, and, you know, it's like, how many fucking balls can he juggle at once? He's a freak of nature.
We'll let the punter and the dribbler decide.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's me.
Has Tom been softened?
Yeah. Let us know in the comment section. Has hyper masculine Tom been softened by the beauty of 2 lovely young girls in his life?
Yep.
What about yourself, Eddie? What have you been doing other than cleaning?
I've been cleaning. Fuck, I've been cleaning, mate. I've been cleaning with the best of them. I couldn't tell you, mate.
You've been running, haven't you?
Been doing some
Or have you
running.
stopped running?
But I was running anyway.
You
know what I mean?
just keep running.
I just kept running.
Running and cleaning?
No, I just kept running and cleaning. Running and cleaning. If I'm done with cleaning, I do a bit of running.
You're a man of like many sort of talents or like you're a businessman. I would class you as a little. You like to think. Have you any thought of opening your own cleaning business? Running and cleaning.
Running and cleaning. So what? The staff would run between jobs to
Yeah.
clean.
Save a lot of money.
You would save a lot of money in transport.
Yeah.
Need a physio on deck though. Fuck me.
Well,
Shin
not if
splints
they're
get you.
conditioned right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not if they've done their stretches. Not if they've, activated the quads. The
Or if you
mods.
treat them like Uber drivers, you don't have to pay for anything. You know what I mean? They're independent contractors.
Yeah, just get him independent.
Well, you whack them on an ABN. You know what I mean? They've
Not your problem.
Then it's not my problem. It's like pay your own super, mate. You don't get any holidays. Fuck off. You know?
And clean this to my
And,
to
and
its
clean
standard.
it to within an inch of its life. Look, there's something in that. I mean, but I'm not a taskmaster. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'll certainly think about it. I will say this, Denon. The Slippery Bucks open their 2021-2022 account this Thursday night.
Wow.
Seating begins 6 p.m. Centennial Park.
Div 2 or 3. I know you jumped.
Well, we're in seating, Denon. So there's no way. There's
okay,
no knowing.
fuck. Jesus.
There's no knowing.
Fucking came in hot there. He
Shot
screamed
shit.
at you.
Well, I'm just saying this. If I turn up and play one of the great games of my life, maybe I fucking set up 5 and I score 4. Are we looking at Div 1? You better fucking believe it.
Are you a realistic sniff of Div 1? Or do you think you guys have, as you getting older, like, you know, the pep in the step is
We
waning?
played Div 1.
Yeah, but you
and what I
haven't
would
for
say
a
about
while.
what I'd say about where we were 2 years ago and where we are now is that the aging male body it doesn't short ball you any favours.
No.
So basically half the side gone down with sore lower backs. Couple of hemis, couple of ACLs. So we're running on the fucking scent of an oily rag.
Yeah.
So I think Div 1 probably out of touch, but it's,
Dare to dream.
you set your own bar. You know what I mean? Is Div 3 our Div 1?
Yeah, is it a 30-year-old's Div 1?
Yeah. But we won't retreat to the over 30s.
Oh, I never would say you'd retreat.
No.
No way, Eddie.
We'll turn up. And
Mate,
we'll
I
rip
know
and
you'll
tear,
turn up.
but aging bodies we are, and that needs to be taken into account. But we're still brilliant at what we do.
When it works, it works.
Yeah.
Beautiful footy.
Poetry in motion.
Yeah. You wouldn't get it. You're a winger.
Jesus Christ.
It's all right. It's all right. Now, on to the rugby league talk. Is there any big stories that you've really enjoyed over the last few weeks?
Manly almost certain to win 2022 comp. Have you heard that going around?
I haven't heard that. Have you heard that, Matt?
Everyone I fucking talk to is like, mate, how about Manly? Like, apparently, like betting companies are paying out. Manly will win 2022.
Paying out?
Yeah, they're already paying it out.
Fucking hell.
Most of them are.
Fucking hell.
All
Which
of them
ones?
are? Most of them are.
I think
Which
all
ones?
of them.
All of them.
Literally
all
have
of them.
paid out already.
All of them.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's fucking wild.
It's wild, isn't
They
it?
must
You
have-
had to be on early like Tom and I were because we believe.
Yeah.
Yep. You
And
put that
now-
bet on last year.
Yep.
Yeah. 3 years ago.
Real futures bet. Nothing that immediately pings my mind because we're just fucking non-stop that like my mind's sort
Blurs
of
into
struggling
one.
to hold all this information. So
Yep.
over the last 2 weeks since you had your feet up, I can't remember anything specifically, but I'm sure that, there was something I've missed.
Thoughts on the Redcliffe Dolphins coming into the comp?
Love that you called them Redcliffe. The fact they're trying to drop the name Redcliffe is one of the great disgraces in rugby league history.
Wow. Is it the greatest wool pull of all time in the sense that Redcliffe as a community paid millions of dollars and supported them and basically put them where they are, and then as soon as they got in the NRL, they just said, see ya.
Well, you know what it is? It's just the marketing team who's overpaid has sat down and gone, this makes more sense. It's like, no, it doesn't. Like rugby league, as far as I'm concerned, is about tribalism. It's about area. It's about where you're from. It's about tapping into like a community's identity.
Well, I reckon that what they've thought is we're not going to get any new fans in this area because Broncos, they're the big dogs, right? So why don't we become the team that disillusioned fans around the country can jump onto? You know what I mean?
Show me evidence that is a thing.
I mean, I'm just saying.
that's like-
That's not a
logical.
thing, but it's not a thing.
Maybe there is teams, maybe there is studies out there and surveys that said like, how committed are you to your team? And it's like, 3 out of 10 or whatever.
As far as I was concerned, there were studies done around moving a team from Sydney, for example, that said if you remove a team, those fans don't follow. They don't follow.
Yeah.
They just sit in like this weird sort of like
Purgatory, like the North Sydney
like the
Bears
North Sydney
fans.
Bands.
Yeah.
I don't buy into that whatsoever. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. What if you're from like a suburb in Sydney that doesn't have a team, you're going to start going for the Dolphins? Because they call the Dolphins not the Redcliffe Dolphins? Is that what you'll have me believe?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I believe they'd support Redcliffe. But, like, for example, let's say you're following the Tigers and they're struggling and you're slowly being taken one step back. Then you go, you know what? I'm going to get on the fucking Redcliffe train.
What, you're going to be just
Redcliffe Dolphins.
They're just going to turncoat? They're like
No.
They're
Well,
trying to fucking
they're fringe.
snafu turncoat
Yeah, like
losers.
the
Is that
fringe.
what you want your fan base to be?
Well,
just
you just want a fan
turncoat
base.
dogs?
And so, they go, the Dolphins come out, they play really well, and all of a sudden, you know what? I support the fucking Dolphins.
Mate,
I'm just putting out theories. I'm
Yeah.
not dying on this hill.
You know what happened when the Titans came to the comps? Everyone was a Titans fan. Now, no one's a fucking Titans fan unless you're from the Gold Coast, and even then, it's a bit of a stretch based on the attendance and the membership numbers.
Do you reckon if they had
People like
success?
shiny new toys. At the end of the day, if you can't go to the games ever because they'll be held at Suncorp or at Redcliffe,
Mainly at Suncorp, which is fucking
which
Again,
is ridiculous.
crazy.
We can get into that, but like it basically it's an idea on paper. Oh, I'm going to go for the Redcliffe Dolphins because they're now called the Dolphins. Are you? Is that? Are
That-
you fair?
that gives
are you
them
gonna
broader
tell, Are you
appeal,
honestly going to tell me that?
Well,
That is ridiculous.
There could be an argument of like in the new age of the internet, there may be people that can be more closer to a brand rather than a location. For example, give
me an example.
So there's a lot of people that in the NBA they follow players instead of teams. So wherever that player goes, they go to that team. And so the argument could be made is like, can we become the just cool brand that is successful and people follow? Again, I'm not saying this is what I think. I'm just thinking, is that the theory of the NBA theory of like where you follow a player and not a team?
But every team in America has a locale. Like they're from somewhere.
Every big brand, every big sporting franchise, every single one of them is from an area.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. If the US isn't doing it and Europe's not doing it, what you reckon some marketing guru who was shortballed into the Redcliffe Dolphins job is like tapped into something? I don't think so. I think you isolate a fan base, potentially, at the expense of like trying to tap into a new one.
Well, to back up your point, what is interesting is esports, which you could argue that's the tip of the spear of internet, new age thinking.
Yeah.
Esports originally started with teams that it was just their names of like the Hornets. But they actually only recently, or 2 years ago, especially the Call of Duty League, attached themselves to cities and started calling themselves the Dallas Empire or, Optic Dallas or whatever, which if you were doing research on it, surely you look at that and go, well, if esports, the most internet thing ever, is attaching themselves to locations, then why would we go
That's
out
it,
and
right?
not
Like
do
this,
that?
they're the most like omnipotent sort of sporting thing, like where they don't actually base them from anywhere.
Anywhere.
They're just fucking
On
kids
the internet.
online,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's like,
And like none of the kids are from where that
the team's based or whatever.
It's all just the internet, and they still put it
It's
connected to a city.
It's also so fucking dumb. Like when there was this really nice groundswell of like, Redcliffe's in, how good's this new team? To now going, oh, actually, nah. Like we don't even tell you until after the fucking news that we're actually dropping Redcliffe from our name. We're just going to be the Dolphins. Everyone at Redcliffe, as you said, poured money into fucking supporting the campaign, and it's like, and also the fact that they've got from under sevens all the way through to, and the guy's like, oh no, there's still going to be Redcliffe and fucking Q Cup, like. But no one watches Q Cup, dude.
And also the Leagues Club, which is that's their safety net, their Leagues
Yeah.
Club. A Leagues Club is a community thing. It's
That's how they
NRSL.
won their bid.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why if I'm the Redcliffe community, if there's a way not to go about getting the initial groundswell of local support, that's the fucking way to do it. Is to piss them off.
I'm shocked by the decision.
It was
doesn't
very
make any sense to me. If you meet someone for the first time, inevitably in the first 5 minutes, you're going to ask them where you're from.
Yep.
It's just human nature.
Like I would have gone Redcliffe Dolphins as many games at the suburban ground as possible.
First 2 years at the suburban ground.
Yeah.
Except for the grudge matches.
Yep.
So like if they're playing Broncos, play them at fucking Suncorp.
Yeah.
Well, mate, it's like, hey, look at Manly, right? For example, when the SFS was built, and let's say Manly was top 4 and we won a home final, they would move them from Brookvale and take them to the SFS because the stadium's bigger, and they would hoodwink the punter and the dribbler. I've been to those games. They say, there's 25,000 here. I'm like, no, there's not. There is fucking 12,000 here. We had a 20,000, 22,000 screaming punters at Brookvale. You've taken this game here because it's a bigger stadium, probably some sort of contract negotiation with the SFS. Lied to me about crowd numbers. And the whole time I'm sitting here going,
Would have been better on the hill.
you can't, like, people are just drawn to an area where it's very tribal, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that
AFL maybe, not rugby league.
No, I'm with you. I think that like I would have gone, let's keep it as suburban. Like let's take it back to the old school feel. And even if it's 10,000 people, a packed 10,000 is better than
Way better. The atmosphere of that is
Makes you feel things. It's strange. Very, very strange.
thinking too much, trying to overthink the situation.
Well, I just think that like we're in an age where we've kind of realised, you know what? Suburban grounds are the way to go.
It's fucking awesome.
I thought we were going back to
Yeah,
suburbia.
same. Like Peter Vlandy's putting more money into suburban grounds, create that
getting an
tribalism. And I would have, honestly, if I'm Redcliffe Dolphins, I would have gone the next 2 years, as many home games as possible, and we spent a fuckload of money of making that experience the best experience ever. Like, on-ground entertainment, things for kids, so that you build, like when you're younger, when you've got a family coming in, they go, oh, remember that day at Redcliffe, grounds or whatever. You're never going to have that feeling at Suncorp because it's Broncos.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Like, try to build a community, build a feeling, build an energy around it, or at least bring that Q Cup Redcliffe Dolphins feeling through to the NRL side.
Yep.
As opposed to like rebranding them essentially,
Yep.
shipping half their games to Brisbane to tap into what market?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you go, we want North Brisbane all the way up?
To,
What, Rockhampton, Bundaberg? I don't know. Like, I'm not that au fait with Queensland geography, but
I'm certainly not. I was impressed by you saying that.
I do not understand.
What else upset me?
they're
Because
up-
it's been bedshit city from the moment they got in, outside of getting Wayne Bennett, which was great. But the release of their heritage jersey in fucking nylon, I'm like, fuck are we talking about here? This looks like a training jersey. Like, if you're releasing a heritage jersey, why don't you make this thing some fucking dope 3/4 sleeve cotton number?
Yeah.
They're like, here's our heritage jersey. I was like, this thing looks like shit. Has everything been done last minute?
I got to be honest with you. And it's like since they got announced as the 17th team, every announcement they've made since, outside of Wayne Bennett, obviously, I've been surprised by or like raised an eyebrow to. I'm this doesn't make any sense.
You know, it's going to sound bizarre, but one thing I actually think they have nailed is the Kings on the front. The sponsorship with the Venture Kings. I think it looks sick. And I think it adds a lot of character to the jersey. But I just can't get past the fact that, you know what used to be so hectic, and I know North Queensland have the new stadium, but going to a dairy farm is just chockers. You know how good that used to be watching that on TV? Imagine every Redcliffe game packed to the brim of 10,000 people wrapped around the tent. It would feel like old school footy.
They are not going to get 45,000 to Suncorp.
No.
They're not.
It's going to look dead.
They're not going to.
Yeah.
Tell me how they're going to.
No,
and
you're
maybe
right.
novelty first couple of rounds. Through a whole year of footy, through 24 rounds?
Titans can't even pack out 25 at the bloody their stadium. Yeah. It's surprising. And also, how much money could have Suncorp possibly offered them that would have outweighed the long-term money they would gain by creating that real family local community base of the local game?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Get the foundations set first.
Yeah,
and
the
then
foundations. Let's say they offered them, we'll give you $1 million to play here, because it wouldn't be more than $1 or $2 million. You'd make that back in the next 5 years easy by creating a loyal base at Redcliffe, in my opinion.
Aren't they already bankrolled out the arse as well? It's not like it's like where you're like, you don't need a fuckload of money.
They got more money than nearly every single NRL club.
Well, that would have been one of the prerequisites. You have to be fucking loaded. You can't tell me, you honestly cannot tell me that they will get bigger crowds at Suncorp than they would at Redcliffe.
No way. I believe a packed out 10,000 local ground, very family orientated, but you keep a hill for the pissheads that love to put shit on people, and you just make it like the local, like it's kind of like rugby union for schools. They do it really well, and all the people get behind it. College football over in America, make it a real local tribalism, like real tribalistic. Like if you live here, this is your team.
But that was like, and it's
then
probably not the same way with Leichhardt now, but it was. But certainly every time you go to a game at Brookie, it's like, it's the area.
Yeah.
Everyone, you go into any pub, everyone's in the fucking jerseys.
Absolutely.
And like, there's that hum of the fucking, you know, it's like, it's a smaller ground, heaps of people in this area. The lights are on, these fucking big stadium lights are lighting this sort of dimly lit area. And people are all walking from the pubs. Like, that's fun as fuck.
Mate, one of the best energies is the shoot shield rivalry between the Rats and Manly Marlins.
And that's all like local.
And it's tiny, local shit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fucking stoked they're in the comp.
Yeah.
I love it, but I'm also like, like, don't abandon tribalism because I don't know what world you're living in.
Well, I just felt like we learnt our lessons with ANZ Stadium and Suncorp
with the Dogs and the Raiders,
Rabbitohs,
and West Tigers.
Yeah, we tried to go too far that way, and we need to go back to suburban. We don't have the population to sustain these huge stadiums or whatever. Get tribal, get local, get it so that you can struggle to even get a ticket at a game. Create that atmosphere of like exclusivity that you're actually there.
That's a great point. That's thing way better when you're fighting for it.
But the thing is, we do have the population, but people, at least in rugby league terms, don't want to travel.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not fucking travelling.
Yep.
I'm not doing it.
It's also a great game to watch on TV.
It is a great game.
Which makes it hard to travel. Anyway,
but we are stoked they're in. Yeah. Just been a few decisions that, look, I can understand their thinking for trying to pick up the wider audience, but I agree with you guys. I think that you should have kept it. Try to keep it like we are the nostalgia club, the old school, local, fucking small suburban ground. You know, bring that feeling back. That's what I would have done. But, you know, who knows? They could be totally right and they end up fucking killing it. Success fucking... If they kill it, no one will be talking about it.
No one cares.
You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. They come
I reckon they'll be Redcliff Dolphins though again.
Do you reckon that the community will fucking kick up a
Apparently they tried to do it in AFL. It lasted like 2 seasons for a team. I can't remember, maybe Port?
Port Adelaide.
You telling me this?
Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide.
They tried to call them Port.
Really? And they just said, no way.
And they came back to Port Adelaide.
Really?
Do all that. But it was definitely Port Adelaide. I don't know what they called them though.
Power maybe.
Maybe it was the Power.
I would just, if I was a local Redcliffe community member, I would be so disappointed. Like imagine if you're a 70-year-old local that's spent all your money at Redcliffe, gone to that Leeds club a million times, gone to all the local games, and then they get in the NRL and they take the Redcliffe. How devo you'd be? You'd be like, fuck. Like, anyway, and a lot of those grounds don't get built without local government grants.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's very...
I'm pretty sure that there was even something where it was like the local mayor was like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
dude?
Moreton Bay, yeah.
We fucking, like, had all this, like, we were going to give you all this money. Like, oh, well, we don't even need it if you don't give it. It's like, oh, so you're just changing the fucking...
Yeah.
Anyway,
You got
I
our
don't know if any of
support.
that's true.
You got our support to help get the bid, and then all of a sudden, once you get it, look, I hope that the local community gets behind it. But if there's a way to shun them, that's the way. I mean, there might be locals that are like, you know what? No, I'm not going to that game.
Put it this way, Denon. If they don't get the local support, they're fucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
What, you're going to pick it up for a couple of strays that
Yeah,
fucking...
no, you're
I
totally
want to
right.
support the Dolphins just cause?
The only
What
way,
are you talking about?
The only way to fix all this is just success. If they win, people will come.
Yeah.
And then they can
You
push
can't win
past
every
it.
year, mate.
No, I know.
But you can be competitive. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in and around the top
If they make
four
finals first few years, they can push through it. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Now, Isaiah Papali'i apparently, reportedly, allegedly, according to reports that he's not taking up his option, and he will be going on the open market. I don't know about not taking up his option. I just thought that he knocked back an extension.
No, that's my mistake. I got that mixed up with Campbell Gillard.
Yeah, okay. So they offered him, the report is $450K. He apparently is getting offers from clubs around the $600K mark. Again, all reportedly. This could be totally wrong. Maybe the Eels only offered him $300K. You know, so don't just automatically assume that Isaiah Papali'i is being greedy. He may have been lowballed massively. What are you guys' thoughts on Isaiah Papali'i? Do you think he's worth $600-700K?
I think
back of
he's-
last season he was.
I don't know what their salary cap looks like.
It seems like it's tight.
It must be tight because back row of the year?
Did he get back row?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
was their player of the year. He was their player of the
he's
year.
a gun. And, like, they've obviously got... Their forward pack's pretty fucking good anyway. Rugby league's your career's short. You know, you're looking after yourself, your family, whatever. If you can get an extra $200,000 somewhere else, we already know Parramatta's struggles and their fight against the dying sun to win a premiership. It's like, well, fuck, I'm not winning a comp here. I may as well go for $200 extra grand somewhere else. I've got no issue with it at all.
It's a lot of money. 4 to 650 if what's been reported is correct.
How old is he?
He's relatively young still, 22, 23.
Mate, fucking live your
He's
life,
good.
bro. He's good.
I guess the concern is that when he was at the Warriors, he struggled, and he went to the Eels, and he went really well. So the concern is if he goes to another club that doesn't have good foundations, could he fall back into that form of
Regress.
the Warriors? You know?
Possibly.
It'd be
But if you're, player of the club and you've, back row of the year, you might feel slighted by that.
by the low offer.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And
if he is outperforming guys like Angus Crichton, even though like I'd put Angus Crichton right up there, but if he's on the level of Viliami Kikau and all that kind of stuff, and you're coming off contract, you go for the money you can get. Like,
Definitely.
You don't sit on a small contract.
I
and
don't think so.
It's a
waste
business,
away.
man. And it's probably not. It's not like the Eels, even in this situation, would be. They might be lowballing him, but as we said, like their cap's pretty fucking. You would assume their cap's pretty tight. They got a lot of players that are like decent, good.
Yeah. I mean, Nathan Brown, Regan Cumming. The only problem is that the issue for the Eels is that they've been given a lot of praise for how they've handled their contracts over the last few years by not offering long-term contracts. But this is the problem: is that if you don't lock people in for 3 to 4 years, stuff like this happens where Gutho. He hasn't executed his extension. RCG is not taking up his option. Nakora may be going.
Holy
Sivo,
shit, Sivo, fucking hell.
Marnie is linked. So you've got this is the issue now the Eels face. Papali'i, Gutherson, RCG, Sivo, Nakora, Niokore, and Marnie all could not be at the club in 2023.
Crazy. I didn't even read that far down.
And that's the problem with only sign. Like, yes, it's really good to be harsh and you don't get stung by these long contracts, but at the same time, you put yourself in a vulnerable position where you could lose a bunch of your gun players.
Should they not have staggered them?
That's what the Roosters do really well. They stagger. Same with the Storm. They stagger. I think Gutho, though, is Gutho signed till 2023? I think he is. But yeah, RCG, he didn't take up his option, and Papali'i, I think he's on market now. Sivo, the amount of money he could get in rugby would be massive. Then they lose two of their best wingers in Fergo and Sivo. It could, if this happens the worst way possible for Eels, they could literally slip out of a premiership window. I know you joke all the time, but at the moment they're a top 4, top 5 side.
Yeah.
Gutho's off contract 2023.
So he's on the market as we speak.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
Of contract end of 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as if
November
you're off
1st.
contract for 2023, you can be negotiating
Right.
from November
Yeah,
1.
Well, no, you can negotiate before that. You can sign November 1.
Oh, so they could already be negotiating.
Yep.
Wild.
So he could, fuck.
Give us a trade window. And
I honestly believe, if Tigers, Tigers could do with him, Doggies could do with him at the fullback position there, Broncos could do with him. Gutho.
Yeah, right.
But also, Redcliffe sniffing
Redcliffe,
around with shitloads of dough, Ray, mate.
Because they get they get more a higher salary cap, don't they, Redcliffe?
I'm not sure.
For some reason, I thought they got like a $10 million salary cap or something.
I know the AFL teams did.
Yeah.
I can't speak to
That'd be
that.
crazy not to allow them to really recruit strongly with more money.
Yeah.
Now, we'll get to the Dolphins because they have actually, Buzz Rothfield's reporting. It may be a Mayo report. It may be, Mayo free. We'll get to it. But thoughts, guys? How much do you think Gutho's worth, honestly?
750.
And to be, from what my understanding is, he took unders again this last contract. So he took less than what he was market worth value. And I think the chat was that this would be the contract they would give him what his value is.
Right.
I think Gutho's the sort of player who's fucking rock solid, top 5 fullback. I think he needs to be around elite half.
Yeah.
And I would spend more money on that elite half as opposed to sort of anchoring the ship with him. So I think maybe eight max.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 8 max.
He can do some he can do game breakery sort of shit, but there is something about him that seems like he is playing probably as good as you're gonna see. He's peaking. That doesn't mean he can't continue to play that well, but he's sort of redlining at what his capability is.
He's a really good player to build a club around because no, he's not James Tedesco, but A, he doesn't cost as much. But B, he's also not, another fullback that may have better games, but their worst games, not. Whereas he's really consistent. So very easy to build systems around him, to know who to buy, to go with him. Some fullbacks that are erratic with their form, it's hard to know who to purchase to pair with them because you don't know what they're going to bring each day.
Yeah.
Whereas a guy like Gutho, I would say his value right now is 700 to 800K.
Lot of money.
Mate, it's a good... And I think if they offered that to Gutho, he'd probably take it. The reports are that his manager is asking 900, but what's bizarre about that is the same people making those reports said that he was asking for $1 million only 3 or 4 weeks ago, or 6. So whenever you hear a number like that, they're always giving you the highest end of the
conversation.
The journalist is always giving you the highest number because obviously they give the most extreme number because they want the most clicks, they want the most views. But I believe Gutho would land in the 700 to 800K mark. I think he'd take that. And I think Eels would be... If Eels can get him for 700 for 3 years, I think that's a good buy.
Yeah. Yep. I think so. He's still got it.
Would you say 5th best fullback?
So it's tough
Tommy,
because
Tedesco, Ponga. Well, then you've got Pappenhausen. Where am I up to? 4.
So
Latrell 5, probably 6.
Yeah, probably. So you look at a guy like Trell, on his day, he could be number 1, but the issue at the moment is his suspension, his record and that.
But I'm saying just
everyone's
average it all
playing,
out. Just average it all out.
I think it goes Tom Travoy, on their day, everyone's playing the best they can play. Tom Travoy, Teddy, probably Latrell. Yeah. But I believe that Latrell still has a few gears in him. So I believe
he hasn't.
But
reached
right now,
probably
Latrell.
Probably, and then you'd go Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah. Hausen,
sorry.
What, then Ponga?
Then Ponga, then Gutho maybe, so 6. And all of those guys.
You can't spend more than 750.
No, I agree. But in saying that, who's on the market though?
But I'm just saying, I know. But I'm just saying, he is, like it or lump it, around about a 6th best fullback in the comp.
Yeah, no.
Out of 17 teams.
So the 7 to 800 is
Right?
probably a good.
Which
good
means
fit.
that you need to lump him with a fucking elite half
Yep.
and a number of other players to potentially win a comp. You can't go out there and spend $1,900,000
Oh no, I
on
agree.
a player of that caliber.
I agree. I totally agree.
So I think 70.
I think 7 to 8 is actually
8.
fair because when you look at Teddy's 1.2,
Yeah.
look at Tommy 1.2,
Yeah.
Trell, he's actually on like 600, so his next contract.
Fuck,
be
that's
$1 million.
crazy. Trell's on a 6.
But
like,
that's what, like, don't get me wrong. I totally understand people that the way he plays it may put them off. I get that. I'm of the mind it's footy. He's aggressive as fuck.
I'd fucking love to have him on my side.
Trell?
Yeah.
Such an animal.
But like, for example, his character, like he's a guy that no one talks about the fact that he has literally declined $1 million+ a year contracts because he wanted to take a pay cut to do the right thing, go to the Rabbos and play there with, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people wouldn't have done that. They would have just taken the money and gone. And I think he deserves rap for that. Also, I think he's 23 still. 24.
I'm a big literal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the 7 to 800K mark is probably a good.
Yep.
I think 800K, it's a great deal for Gutho. 700K, it's a great deal for Eels.
Is the cap going up next year?
I'm not sure.
Surely not after this COVID.
I don't think so
bullshit.
because of all the bullshit that happened.
Yeah.
I had a look online just quickly about if they get salary cap exemptions. I couldn't find anything. Every website seems to say they get the 10 mil that every club has.
Oh, so maybe that was just me not. I thought the fucking cap was 9.
Surely.
It's 9 point something.
It was
It's
only
not
a quick,
half.
yeah, it was only a quick look, but
Is it
Sydney's
9
ones
point-
still
9
get
and a
living away
half,
from home
9.8?
allowance, don't they?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that sits outside the cap.
But that's what I mean. Like, surely they've got to give some incentive to people to go to Redcliffe. You know?
Well, I mean, I think the AFL is structured slightly differently because a strong. Read into it all you want, but a strong Swans, a strong Sydney, strong for the AFL. So they do give concessions that
They want the
don't
teams to-
look like concessions, but they are. They go, it's expensive to live there. So it's easier to swallow. But to get a team off the ground, they're going to have to do something.
Surely.
They're going to have to do something.
Yeah, so RCG, that's an interesting one because he was fantastic last year. He really found his form again. Hasn't taken up his option. I don't think they're going to have the cash to keep him.
Bro, he's probably looking up at that Dolphin cash.
And he'd be good. I think he'd be a good buy for Dolphins. Just depends on how much they're willing to spend. Junior Paulo, I thought he was off contract as well. Soon.
What the fuck are they doing over there?
I think it's either this year or next year. It's definitely it's 2022 November 1 players.
yeah.
Sounded to me like they've got to win this year.
Para got about 15 off contract.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
And so is Junior Paulo.
Yeah, Junior Paul is one of those.
So he's currently can negotiate. Junior Paulo, who is a
And so,
fucking
same with Ryan Madison.
Michael, who's on About Even with us, he did this like deep dive. He's a stats fucking genius, and he was. I can't remember if it was like the last 20 years. It might have been longer, but teams that win the comp and the turnover of players they have, and he was like, no team has turned over more than 5 players in an off season and won the comp.
wow.
It's like you look at that, they got 15 off contract. You're like,
Wow.
what the fuck are you doing?
At the end of 2022. So maybe next year's their year.
Well, yeah, if they don't win it next year, they're cooked.
Yeah, they cooked. That's what I'm hearing.
And they won.
Yeah, I think we'll see how they go. I think they're probably going to lose Murata. He's a fucking good player. Now Marnie is the key. A young good hooker is so hard to come by. On
about Ray
and off
Stone?
the field. Sorry.
Huh?
Ray Stone that filled in.
Oh yeah, Ray Stone. Well, they've got Ray obviously
Yeah.
waiting. In
I
the
don't think
wings.
he's a natural hooker though. He struggled there in that fucking semi-final. Poor cunt. Poor fella. Fuck.
Poor Ray.
Not even his
actually even
position.
a hooker. Yeah, he's not even a fucking hooker.
That's what I'm saying. He's a massive loss if they
Yeah.
lose him.
Yeah, dude. Reed's great. I'd like to see Reed in the Dolphins colours. He's a Queenslander. Get him
Mate,
up there.
oh.
Get him up there.
Mate, I think the Dolphins land him.
Yeah?
I really do. You probably get about 700, 800K.
The Wayne Bennett
He's a Queenslander,
factor.
the Wayne Bennett factor.
That's such a big fucking factor,
Yep.
the Wayne
Eels-
Bennett. It's like a box tick as well. If you're a player, it's like, if I can go play for Wayne, like...
and I'm going to be at least in finals, probably.
Yeah.
It's a fucking hell of a draw.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But, yeah, Marnie at the moment, like, especially if Storm get cheese, Marnie's value just goes through the roof because Appy's on the market, but Marnie's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
You know, going to play for Queensland most likely.
He's happy on the market.
Yeah. There's a lot of players on the market.
Few-
I wish we.
few
Do you have
clubs-
the those the papers still here?
Yeah, I'll
With
go
all
for it.
can you please bring them over and just do the wide shot? But But yeah, very interesting, very strange times for the Eels. Very strange times. Now, Dolphins night. Buzz Rothfield. Now there is no.
Mr. Mayo.
We're unsure whether this is a Mayo report or Mayo free. He's reporting that the Dolphins are going to throw $1.4 million at Kalen Ponga. I believe slight Mayo has been applied here, but what do you guys think?
Couple of $100,000 worth of Mayo, we reckon.
I'd ask you this, Denon. Would a Mayoman not apply Mayo?
No. When has a Mayoman not applied Mayo?
That's true. Thank you.
Why would he eat his yarn dry?
Why would you
Can you bring all of them over, please?
Like, if you've built a career on adding just a dollop of mayo at least to everything, why would you stop?
If you can't spin a yarn without mayo, why would you stop here? One of the biggest yarns of your career, Kalen Ponga and the Dolphins. I'm putting more mayo on that yarn than I've ever put on any other yarn in my life.
I tell you what else you need to think about is that it's the off season, and the off season is the perfect time for rugby league journalists. It's Mayo season.
Yeah, Mayo season.
You have to apply mayo in the off season because there's nothing else to
fucking do. Like,
there's
no one gives a
economy
shit.
to play.
That's why bloody North Sydney Bears are just every off season. You know it's the off season because there's a yarn about North Sydney Bears coming back into the comp. Mayo. That is just Mayo central.
Do you think North Sydney?
I'd say this without as far as we know a salary cap that hasn't moved.
Am I giving this to you?
You're tacking on $300,000.
Look, I understand the thought process here. Let's say it is 1.4. Let's just say it is.
Yeah.
New club, need the new superstar, and it would be a great land. You know, he is the biggest superstar in the game. Him and Latrell are probably Kalen's probably the biggest superstar.
Because of the millennial.
Yeah.
aspect to it.
Him and Latrell are just fucking huge.
TikTok talent.
So I understand that thought process of like, this is so good for marketing. This will bring young people through the gates. If we want to, aim at the next generation of fans and try and get them through, Kalen is the guy. 1.4, wow, that's a lot of.
It's a spicy meatball.
A lot of cash, especially.
I love Kalen. Kalen's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Kalen's incredible.
Kalen's a dear friend.
1.4 million. I just sort of think to myself, how are you going to balance the rest of your cap? Unless you get a concession thrown around that sort of money. It's a fuckload of money.
And also, when Joey Manu is, you could probably get Joey for $1 million, maybe. And Joey Manu and play him at fullback.
Put it this way. If Tom Trebojevic is on 1.1, paying 1.4 is outrageous.
It's a lot of fucking... And do you just bank that you can somehow balance it? Is like...
Can you balance a side spending that much money on one player?
And haven't we learned, like with the Melbourne Storm, for example, like winning is what gets your fan base. Winning.
Yes.
You know, like you can try and buy stars all you want, but winning is what gets people.
Hey, if you don't win, no one cares.
No, literally.
I'm sorry to fucking burst your bubble, but if you're not winning, no one gives a shit. Simple as that. If you're spending 1.4 on someone, that's $300,000 left you can spend on an elite half. That means you're, instead of getting a $1 million half, for example, you're getting a $700,000 half. For example.
It's a lot of rugby league coin.
Too much.
Now,
I think there's been Mayo pulled all over that. But based on the decisions we've heard tonight around removing the Redcliffe, just going with the Dolphins, the heritage jersey that isn't heritage, it's more nylon. It wouldn't shock me if the Dolphins are playing another shocker.
Now, speaking of Kalen Ponga and Mayo, allegedly, I can get this up.
Good luck with those gloves on.
Yeah, this has been written in the, reported by multiple people. There's been plenty written and said about Kalen Ponga's option in Newcastle contract. And on closer examination, it makes interesting reading. Now, I don't know why it says closer examination because they wouldn't have his contract in front of them, but Ponga has a player option in his favour for 2023 and 2024. But the catch is the Knights have to win the premiership either this season or next season.
Do you remember me saying that on this show?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't believe, like, there's no way, surely not. Like, how did they possibly, because that basically means if they don't win the comp next year,
he can go.
He can go.
It seems like a not very realistic assessment of where the club's at.
It's like, who would agree to that? Like, is that the only way they kept him? Was he about to bounce?
And it was like...
But also, if you've won a comp, aren't you more likely to bounce potentially?
Maybe, I'm not sure. So it says, crucially, that means Ponga is not a free agent as of November 1st in terms of rival clubs being able to offer him, to table him an offer 2023 and beyond. But
So
I don't know if that's, I just cannot believe that. You know, I can't, like, when we talk about unnecessary clauses that make zero sense, like, how could they agree to that?
But it's like for him, basically just goes, if we don't win this year, then I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. But then also, if he's saying that to you, you're basically saying I'm ready to leave.
Yes.
You know, like in the contract negotiations?
I never understood the 2 years in his favour to start with.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Like,
Teams don't go back to back for starters. So if I'm Kalen and I win a comp and someone's offering me 1.4 million, I'm like, see you fucking later. How does that make any sense?
yeah, it's bizarre. And they didn't sign.
If you're a bee's dick away, you're probably more likely to stay.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't believe, I just, maybe I'm wrong, but I just cannot believe that's a real clause.
No.
Denon, you're a big man around rugby league circles. You ever just thought of just calling Kalen and going, hey, bro, what are you on?
Show me your contract.
Show us your contract.
Flop it out.
Do you mind if I post it on IG or just
Yeah.
at least get it on the show for us to go through the fine-tooth
If he's a man of the people, he would.
Give us your contract, Kalen.
Unzip your contract, flop it out.
Yeah.
Get it on the table, let everyone see it.
Let us see your contract.
Let me
dude.
run an eye over it. Let me feel it. Let me
Yeah.
touch it.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to see what it feels like.
Let me measure it against other contracts.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it two hands or is it one?
How thick's his contract?
How thick is it? How girthy is it? Girthy or not?
Didn't take us long to get into dick rhetoric, did it?
Are we talking about dicks?
I'm not talking about
I'm talking
dicks.
about fucking contracts.
What are you talking about?
You fucking
Oh,
sicko.
I was talking about his dick.
Fucking sicko.
Yeah. Well, you've got gloves on.
Mate. Would you handle his contract with gloves on, do you think?
Well,
I think you have to, right? Like when you're at a museum.
I think you need to be gloved up.
Yeah.
Gloved up?
Yeah.
Would you ride the contract's shaft or the contract's...
See, now this, I got a lot of positive fucking...
I thought I saw a lot of negative.
No, I saw a lot of support about that.
What did you see?
I saw a couple of people support him, which is what he's holding on to,
Yeah.
but mostly they're
Negative.
in camp us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to ride from the base. We know this.
Right from the base.
Ride the shaft.
How legally binding do you think his contract is? That's what I want to know.
How legally binding is any contract these days?
Oh, my God. It is a bizarre situation because, like, if the player's not happy, you may as well move it on. But at the same time, like, fuck, then you may as well have bloody contracts.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Well, look at Ben Simmons is owed, what, 170 million? He's like, I'm not playing. And they're
Now,
like, well,
is-
now we're finding you. Like, it's just a...
Is there more to that than Leeds? Because, like,
look,
the
I don't
media,
know.
the
I don't
media
know.
make out like he's... If it is truly what the media is saying, he's the sulkiest bloke in history. But I've read people be like, well, hang on a sec. Like, he didn't go up for some dunk, and then the didn't like his NBA like higher ups like pretty much just hung him out to dry and like didn't stand up for him. And then they tried to trade him, couldn't get anything for him, and then they tried to keep him. He was like, well, you fucking trying to get rid of me, then I'm fucking out of here.
It seemed like to me when I was seeing it, just hearing your stories about how ruthless NRL clubs are, I'm like, why would it be any fucking different? And you already hear stories in the NBA where it's like some guy rocks up to play a game and it's like, oh, no, sorry, dude, you actually just been traded to fucking Utah. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, as if they're not just as fucking ruthless. So, like, again, when you say, like, clubs will put out what they want the narrative to be, I wouldn't be surprised if Ben is not as bad as he's being made out to be, but there is sort of a bit of a sooky vibe, but it's hard to fucking know.
well, look,
It's hard to know. He dogged the nation at the Olympics, which is hard for me to
that
swallow.
did sting. But look, I understand. He's young. He's worth hundreds of millions. He dates supermodels.
Yep.
That's gonna put you in a headspace that the mere mortal is not going to be in.
Potentially, yeah.
So I understand him having a kind of diva attitude. You're one of the next big things or whatever, one of the best players in the comp. But also, like, if they're already tried to trade you and then couldn't get anything, and they're like, no, you're going to stay now. And then you're, oh, no, I want to go then. I wouldn't handle it that way. But I think that it's pretty unfair that he's being painted as just this fully unreasonable, you know?
Yeah.
Off the back of a trade, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like they tried to
100%.
trade him.
Yeah. But did they try to trade him because he had a poor attitude?
Yeah,
Was he
that's
shooting
true,
well?
that's
He
true.
wasn't training well, blah, blah, blah. I mean, look,
He can't shoot.
we're not going to solve it here.
Yeah.
We're not going to solve it here.
But the man can't shoot.
But the man can't shoot. And he should have played with the Boomers. And if he did, he would be a different man.
If he played for the Boomers, I think Australians in general would probably be more supportive. I reckon
he was
dogging the
if he
Boomers was a
wearing
bad
Aussie
call,
bronze
dude.
around his neck, bro, he would be a different...
Do you think he can ever come back now?
No.
Oh, yeah, no, he can come back. He can come back and lead us to Olympic gold.
He needs to
what-
repent, though.
Yeah, you got to repent. You got to come back.
What kind of repent are we talking like?
Oh,
An
like a
apology
fucking
or-
live, like, you know how like the Prime Minister or the President speaks in every TV station? is on the same channel. It's Ben sitting there in front of
Emergency.
a fucking Aussie flag.
Yeah.
Repenting.
Yeah.
Singing the
apology.
anthem,
Look,
maybe. I don't
Singing
know.
the anthem would be good.
I think if he just explained, look, I'm snogging glamours, boys. I think a lot of Aussie blokes would be like, okay, I probably wouldn't have done that, but I get where you're coming from.
Look, I think a lot of Aussies in general can get around a man snogging hotties, but when the fucking pride of the nation is on the line at the Olympic Games and you dog it and then we win a medal for the first time ever and you've dogged it, like... And you're like, oh, I just want to work on my game, and then you're a fucking Wimbledon.
And you're Wimbledon, snog it on. Hard to
Snogging
come back.
hotties.
Hard to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Look,
tough.
strawberries and cream are great, bro, but
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I hate. There's a part of me that's like an Aussie over there, just getting ripped and teared by everyone. Feel like he's one of us, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we can rip and tear him.
Get off our boy.
But he's our boy, but at the same time, if he did do something wrong, then obviously he deserved to get ripped and teared.
Too many unknowns for me.
Yeah, too many unknowns.
Too many unknowns.
Hopefully it gets sorted because fuck, I don't even follow basketball and I see that shit going on.
Right, exactly.
Holy moly. Yeah. So what do you think, Ponga and the Dolphins or what? Do you think Ponga? Do you
Well,
think
Mitchell Pearce is going, so what
will
the fuck's
Ponga be at the
gonna
Knights
stay
in
for?
2023?
No, I reckon he'll go.
Ponga will be the...
So is this the last year we're going to see Ponga in a Knights jersey?
Yes.
He seems like he loves the area, loves the club, but I
Yeah.
do think that he does want a career, as you've said in the past, right? A career with some fucking highlights. And at this point, those highlights are not going to be fucking gifted to the Newcastle Knights because they signed Andrew Johns to work there 2 days a week. Like,
Now, speaking of Andrew Johns, Joey, we did discuss the fact they needed a Joey whisperer. Maybe, I mean, not maybe, they definitely watched this podcast. Do you believe we had any, I guess, did we put any weight or pressure on the club to go and get Joey and bring him home?
What
do you
do
feel
you
we did
think?
that? I mean, I'm asking the questions.
yes.
And I'm answering it with a rhetorical question of my own.
What do you reckon?
What do you reckon? Like, let's be honest.
Of course they fucking
Of
did.
course they did.
They felt the
Of
pressure.
course they did.
O'Brien sits up at night fucking poring over old episodes of this shit. And
What
he's already
the
listened to
fuck-
them,
what
and then he's going,
can
fuck,
I
what have I
do?
missed?
What can
Have
I
I missed
do?
something here?
The
What have
only
they said?
thing the only thing these boys seem to like be in agreement on in regards to the Knights is that how great of a player Joey Johns was. Maybe I'll shortball Joey into this gig. He's there 2 days a week, which means he's up there Tuesday arvo, he's home Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Which is great for Joey.
It's great for Joey because Joey's only up there 1 day a week. Joey's got other things on, other commitments. Can Joey polish a turd? I don't think so.
He could certainly shine a turd.
He can top eight a turd.
He can top eight a
He
turd.
can top 8 a turd.
He could.
Joey can top eight a turd.
But
If there's one bloke that can top 8 a turd, it's Joey.
It's
You
Joey.
cannot deny that.
No,
Joey
no,
can top
I'm-
eight a turd, but he can't win a comp with that turd.
unless he's on the field, which, as far as
There's
I'm aware,
whispers that maybe they're
And
bringing
when,
him
I'm
back.
saying,
Has the neck
and when I'm
recovered?
saying that turd, I mean it from this perspective. Punters and dribblers, don't get upset with me. 4-pack's all right. 6, Jake Clifford goes okay.
he looked good.
You don't have a 7, and
Luke Brooks has
if
been
Ponga
linked.
goes to 6, you don't have a fullback. So I'm asking myself, without 2 elite players you need, can you polish that team without those players that I just mentioned into a premiership
Or can
side?
Joey only polish part of the turd, the halves part? You know what I mean?
No,
Is
I
there
can't
going to be a
be done.
section of the turd that's going to be shiny and the rest of it's...
cannot be
Look,
done.
I would go as far to say is we mean turd is in the sense of like if you make finals footy, you're not a turd. If you don't make finals,
You know what
you're a
we mean
turd.
by
Yeah.
turd?
We clearly don't mean they're actual turds.
No, I don't mean that they're literal human
I mean
feces.
turd as in like,
They need
if
to be
you
better.
can't win the comp now, you are a metaphorical turd.
Or if you don't make the top 8, you are a metaphorical turd.
Well, they made the top 8.
Yeah, but if you've got fucking Pearce leaving...
But I'm saying, like, take the teams that can win the comp. Like, realistically win it.
Yeah.
And teams that can't
Turds.
become turds. Can he polish a turd into winning the comp? Yes or no?
Maybe.
I'd say no.
There's whispers that he's the replacement for Pearce.
Well, Joey instead
Joey's
of
going
Pearce.
to play.
They're whispers.
If
That'd
Joey
be big.
plays, I'll win.
Yeah.
I'll say that right
I'll
now.
back him in if Joey, fucking...
Maybe
whacks a jersey back on.
maybe grand final against Manly they lose, they go down because
We
I don't know,
avenged
'cause Tommy goes
97.
blind. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Tommy goes blind.
Yeah.
In the dying minutes. When the
He
comp.
literally goes blind like Schuster.
Goes blind, grubbers to his cock scores in the corner.
Schuster goes blind whilst being blind.
Yeah. Schuster, who's blind, goes blind, and grubbers, and then Tommy scores with his cock, and then Manly win the grand final.
Yeah.
Is it if you get downward pressure with your cock, does that count as a try?
Part of your body, yeah.
Of course it does.
But that's not your torso though.
Doesn't matter.
Nah, but it's another arm.
If it's strapped up on your torso.
Can you check if you score off your cock?
Just
is
Google that.
Downward pressure with your cock.
I think there's something about having to get a clearance from the NRL. Go, can I have this appendage sort of reclassified as an
torso?
arm? Well, or as an arm.
Yeah.
Because like
Or a leg.
Or a leg.
it may be more efficient for Tommy to instead stop scoring with his arm and just put his cock out to score.
Yeah. Well, because people aren't often looking for a flick pass from a cock either. So it's like you're not expecting it to.
Yeah. Throws you off the scent.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the no-look Benji, like it's your diverting eyes
Yeah.
and, oh, where to go? Oh, you flick past with his cock.
Flick past with his cock. And it's also much more malleable so you can fucking hook it around defenders and shit.
But, yeah. Unless Joey starts playing again at 7, I think it's all for nothing.
Mate, speaking of Knights,
Love
like
Joey.
in all seriousness, with all the
Joey.
jokes aside, I think they've got a good roster. But my biggest concern is like if Pearce isn't there,
They're missing key players.
Their win percentage without Pearce this year was poo, I believe.
yeah, I'm concerned because they've done so fucking well to, as I said, all jokes aside, they've done so well to come from the wooden spoon to where they are now.
Yeah.
Like it's been incredible. They signed Ponga, then they got Pearce, then they got Clemmer, they got Frizzell. Like they've done such a
Bringing
good
through some
job.
juniors.
Yeah, such a good job.
But you need an elite half.
No, that's what I'm saying. And my what is really worrying and I guess would be really sad is they've done all this great work. They lose Pearce, they lose Ponga, you know, and then all of a sudden it's a snowball effect.
And they're back to
struggling down the bottom of the table when really they've got the roster to be top 8 definitely. And if Pearce is there playing regularly, they've got Brayley there as well now, top 6 even.
That's why I never really understood the 1-year contract to Pearce.
Neither
I'm
did
like,
I.
I don't. Okay, sure, 1 year to Pearce, but then who are you replacing with?
Yeah.
Honestly, who are you replacing with? Because in my fucking dim-witted idea of the NRL, you need a motherfucker at 6 or 7. Better if it's a 7.
Yeah.
To win the comp or at least challenge.
Who would you go? Like, what do you got there?
Sorry, just to validate your comment, Pearce was part of 8 of Knights' 12 wins, but part of 4 of their 13 losses.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm a fucking rugby league savant. There's so much in this brain that I've definitely read from somewhere else and taken it.
If you're the Knights, and let's say Pearce is gone, and good on him, because like clearly the Crumps are calling. Again, I think. Do you feel we also had a lot to do with him going to Europe?
Mate, he's played 300 games. He's won a comp. Go get that crumpet, baby. Go get that crumpet.
He certainly heard us talk about it and gone, dude, the crumpet's over there.
Speaking of strange clauses, there is word that there is a crumpet clause in Pearce's contract.
Would be.
Being
Should be.
he's a single man.
Yeah.
Would be,
now.
should be, could be.
When we talk about glazing crumpets, he's going to do a lot of that over there.
Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, he is. He might open his own business.
He's won an Origin. He's won a comp. He's played 300 games. Go get the crumpet.
He's had such a tough career that he's almost riding off into the sunset because, like, if you think of a heaven for a rugby league player, it's Super League and crumpet season.
Yeah.
On shitloads of money.
Well,
literally heaven.
Certainly a Mitchell Pearce, where it's like a lot of footy players get to the end of their career, maybe they're married, couple of kids. Pearcey's just been ripping and tearing for fucking 300 games.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know,
And
what
the
is
South of
Mitchell
France.
Pearce's heaven?
This
What's
is literally his heaven.
South
That's
of
his
France.
heaven, the south of France.
South of France.
Thank you. South of France. Dancing,
Prancing.
Prancing.
taking chances
And
in the south
lancing.
of France.
Lancing.
Using his lance.
Yeah.
He's lancing.
Oh, he's lancing, all right.
He's lancing.
Fuck,
in
he's
the south of
lancing a lot
France.
over
yeah,
there.
yeah, dude.
I'll tell you what, he might be a lancer. He might be a lancer over
Yeah,
there.
dude.
I don't see anyone on the market they can replace him with.
Well, I was going to say, who do they pursue now? There's whispers that Corey Norman may come in to fill, to try to.
Not the right player, I don't
Luke
think.
Brooks, they were saying.
Are they saying Luke Brooks?
I heard Luke Brooks in a fucking like a rumor mill
They're not.
article.
They're not the
Who
right
do,
player.
in a
I don't
perfect
think.
world, who do you target? That's
Could
the
you go
problem.
for where's like Luai, for example? Like if you've got
Yeah,
to
I
like
think he
Penrith
just
after winning
re-signed.
a comp,
I think he just re-signed.
Okay, well there's no chance.
What
there.
about the halves tree that you were speaking about earlier this year?
There isn't one.
Oh fuck.
Well, Rusty had one.
He didn't. That was the thing.
Yeah, that
He
was the
thought he
concern.
did.
Right.
That's what we said. If you're getting rid of Reynolds, you must have a halves tree.
What about
it's
a?
clear to all in sundry that he doesn't.
What about a like if you've got at the Roosters, you've got Keary, Walker, Lockie Lamb, Drew Hutchison. There's a few there.
Are they bringing Prems though?
Well, no, they can't get anyone who's bringing Prems. So I think Drew Hutchison played pretty well when he was like for the Roosters this year. Lockie Lamb's all right. It's like if you got fucking
Mate, without knowing enough about like up and coming talent and who may be able to cut it and who can't. I really can't comment other than to say I don't think there's anyone on market that they could buy that could help. That could replace Pearce.
No, I totally agree.
Climate.
So we all agree that it was a pretty poor decision to not give Pearce the 2 years. Who wanted the 2 years?
Did he want it?
He wanted the 2 years, and they didn't want it.
2 years. That's why he's so pissed off. And I'm like, okay, sure, but like, who are you replacing him with? That's what I don't understand about this whole thing.
I love Cade Cust, and he doesn't get enough at Manly, and he could be sort of the Manly's plans for when Cherry goes or when Foran goes.
What about Kieran Foran?
Fuck that, he's ours. And so's Cade, but I'm just thinking of someone with Cade who's like not getting much of an opportunity as someone who I think is fucking very good.
Yep.
Lockie Lamb said it already. That's where it wraps up for me, dude.
Hey, Jacob Arthur is a good young gun.
Like, but again, right? Like you either go like real young gun, but you're not going fucking like I don't think you're going Matt Moylan.
I tell you, like, how hard is it to find key players in key positions?
Yeah,
like they're so fucking rare.
Is that is that a function of like just the reality of the way the sport's run or something now, where like there's not as many elite players in positions, or is it we've just got so many fucking teams?
I
or
reckon
is it that halves that like we aren't training for fucking gun halves?
I reckon it's so hard to find a guy that is like very smart, like footy wise, that's willing to take the abuse your body takes as an NRL player. Because like every other position, you don't really have to think as much, you know? So you can just be rough, tough, and whatever. Whereas like halves usually have to be thinking players, but to find one that's a thinking player and is willing to put his body on the line constantly, and he's a smaller player, so he has bigger boys running at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the shittest, like hooker and seven, like the shittest positions ever, because you've got big dogs running you, plus you've got to do all the smart stuff. And so that's why I think it whittles it down to such a small amount of people that are capable of doing that job.
Right.
But yeah, I honestly don't know. Do you get a Joey Manu there and put, Joey at fullback and Kalen at 6 maybe?
Yeah. But then again, right? Like, do you weaken a strength?
Yeah,
to strengthen a weakness. Whatever
I know. I don't like putting Kalen at 6 because I think he's such a good fullback.
But he also didn't throb at 6 when he played there.
Well, he needs more time to develop, I think.
True, you're not just necessarily setting him
20.
in.
Fuck, he was like 21.
But you know what? Like, I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but like, like he hasn't even had a chance to really throb at fullback.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
He has, and he's fucking great. But like consistently over to like establish himself as fucking amazing, to have like injury-free seasons, to be like absolutely just ripping.
Yeah,
he's obviously great. So to just be like switching him around before he's really had a chance, I wonder as a player whether you'd be like, you know what, dude, like can I just stay in a fucking position?
No, I agree. Give him time to just injury-free, couple of years of footy at fullback. He'll still only be 25 at that stage. But yeah, very like Knights are just in such a tough position. Fuck me. And again, it's just like sometimes, especially in a key position when you got a guy like Mitchell Pearce, you got to bite the bullet, give him the 2-year deal that he wanted. They wouldn't be in this mess. They could. Can you imagine? Like right now, if they had to sign him on that 2-year deal that he wanted, they would be going into this next 2 seasons going, we want to challenge for a top 4 spot.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, fuck, like we may drop back to 11th.
Yeah.
It's very, very tough times. Very tough times. Now, on to Craig Fitzgibbon signs his first Rooster. Matt Ikevalu, I just think this is a good depth signing. Apparently, Joey Manu will reject a multi-million-dollar deal with the Warriors and stay with the Roosters, $150K less per year, according to the reports. Thoughts on Joey Manu? Do you think that he should go and play fullback somewhere else, get the big dog money, or stay at the Roosters and win prems, maybe?
I mean, if he's getting 150 grand less of whatever the big dog deal is at the Warriors, you're assuming the Warriors are throwing like $1 million at him, right? To try to be fullback. So you're getting 850, which is obviously still a shitload of money. There is a reality, or at least a perception when you go to the Warriors, that you're probably not going there to fucking win comps.
I just think if RTS couldn't do it, fuck, man.
How old is he?
25. So he's in that prime range. Like, yes, it is 150K less, but your lifestyle's not going to change that much between $1 million and 850K, if that is the difference.
Yes.
I think it'd be substantially more, but the thing is, I think Joey wants to play fullback or number 6. I think he wants to get involved more.
Right. Could you have him at 6 and have Kiri at fucking 7?
Maybe. Honestly, I would strongly consider that and just give Sam Walker an extra year or two to...
And then you've got bloody...
Teddy at fullback.
And then who are the centres?
You got Paul Momorowski and Suwali. You also got Smith as well.
When's Kiri off contract?
I think he'll stay for the Roosters I think 2024. He'll be there for life. I think. Yeah.
Right. Look, I mean, like you say, 150 grand's not a whole lot of money. Uncle Nick can probably short boy you a couple of corporate deals to make up the difference.
Probably.
Maybe.
A couple of corpies.
Do you know what I mean? A couple of corpies.
He knows a few people.
There you go. I mean, 150 grand.
Wouldn't mind a few corpies.
With the right people, with the right corpies, you can make that up pretty quickly.
Yeah. At the top end of player salaries, 150 grand isn't much.
It's not a whole lot. And if you're there to win comps, what the decision...
Comps and corpies.
The decision really comes down to, does the bloke want to win comps or not?
Yeah, and get
Do you know
corpies.
what I mean?
And get corpies. Comps and
If he
corpies.
wants to get comps and corpies, right?
Yeah.
Or he wants to be a 6 or a 1 and not win a fucking goddamn thing.
The corpie circuit as well in New Zealand is fucking tough for a Warriors player because they only give a shit about the All Blacks. So your corpie earning potential is
Well, it's impacted.
significantly diminished. Whereas your corpie value as a Rooster,
It's through the roof.
premiership 2-time,
The Corpy circuit in Sydney is almost infinite.
bruh.
Yeah.
Corpies,
What, do they get 2 days off a week?
Yeah.
Uncle Nick get him out there flogging cars?
mate, fucking 90% of that 850 grand could be corpies.
Yeah.
He signed on minimum. He just got a bunch of corpies.
Yeah, he's actually like a fucking... he's a
But
rookie.
I would say highly unlikely he'll play in the halves. He definitely won't play 1. So if he's re-signing with the Roosters, it's to play.
I don't know if
I'd
it's highly unlikely.
I'd consider
Yeah.
him at 6.
Yeah, I don't know
like
if it's
that.
highly unlikely.
Keep Sam Walker another year at Thinger.
Yeah, but that's 1 year.
Well, 1 or 2 years. Yeah, we'll say 1 or 2
That's
years.
also
Do you know
true
what
as
I
well
mean?
with Sam Walker. I forgot about
1
him.
year?
Yeah. And then then he gets
But
moved
if you're,
back.
if you're signing for 3 years,
Yeah.
you're not signing to be a 6.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You're signing to play some 6,
Maybe you
some 1, but mostly centre.
Maybe you sign him to do corpies full time and play footy part time.
Yeah, but what is it? Maybe we just sign him as a fucking corpie guy.
Maybe it's a Corby deal. I don't know.
Could you
But
sign him as just
if
that
Sam Walker, who was incredible this year, but still green as fuck.
and tiny, and
Green and
also
hot,
not
and
ready
hot.
for corpie?
He's hot too though.
Dude, he's
Yeah,
hot
but
as shit.
he's hot as fuck. But I'm just saying, if Kiri is staying there long term, like you say, and then you got Sam Walker, who highly touted, growing into his body.
When he grows into his body, he might be the best looking NRL player ever. Like, I don't know what.
Nah, Craig Wing. I don't want to hear that. Craig
I'm
Wing.
saying,
mate,
let him grow into his body.
but what I'm
No, Craig Wing. He grew into his body and he
Craig
stayed
Wing grew into his
beautiful.
body.
Trent Robinson's not sitting down Manu going, mate, you're playing the halves.
He's a corpy.
He's a corpie.
He's going to go.
We got a corpie for you
He
tonight.
goes, you might play some halves, but not that much. You might play some 1, but not that much. You'll be playing the centres. He's 850. He's a great corpy gig, and here's a couple of prems.
And look, if you want a ball play, we've got some corpies that you can ball play at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go through a ball through
pass
someone's
through
mouth.
the fatty glory hole.
Yeah.
Dude, let's get him on a corpie here.
Yeah. He'd love it.
We'll speak to Robbo, get him on a corpy.
You want to play a bit of footy? Mate, we'll get him down. Slippery
maybe Div
Bucks
2.
will take him up.
Yeah,
Div
yeah.
3, Div 2,
There
Div
you
1,
go.
probably Div 3.
He can come
With
play.
him, he'd be Div 1, mate. With him, he'd be Div 1.
Look, if Joey Manu got me on the blah and he said to me, listen, I'm not touching the footy as much as I'd like, I'd say you come down and play for the Bucks. We'll put you in first fucking receiver.
He's got to earn it though.
Oh, he'll be earning it. But I'm saying the opportunity's there if you want to take it with both
You
hands.
give him the opportunity. You don't give him the position.
No, fuck no. He has to turn up and rip a tear. He'll be
Yeah.
at centre to start. And if he
Yeah.
earns his way up to first receiver behind me, then we'll see what happens.
What about your corpy? Any corpies that you can throw him or what?
Oh, I've got a couple of businesses I might be able to
Yeah,
fucking
we
shop
could
for.
probably work him into a couple of corpies. That's for sure.
That's not out of the realms of possibility. Offers there, Joey.
Let us know, Joe, if you'd like to play Div 2, Div 3, Div 1. With the
Maybe
Bucks.
3, probably.
Look, I play cricket on a Sunday, different sport, but we'll let you bowl.
But that's what we can offer.
Yeah.
He can bowl first.
You can bowl
that's
first.
good.
That's ball playing.
That
We'll
is
let you
ball
bowl
playing.
the most overs. You can bowl
Yeah.
up to 4 in the 2020 comp we're in.
I tell you what, between bowling the most with you and being first receiver with you,
Earning first receiver.
Earning, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a fair bit of being involved in the main part. I think that could get him across the line to stay at the Roosters.
Yeah. I don't want to help the Roosters, though, just having thought about that.
Maybe injure him at the thing at cricket.
Okay, now we got something to think about. Let's bounce him.
What about
Well, look, it's a pretty quick way to lose a bit of confidence in your game, coming down and getting alphaed by me.
Yeah.
And I'm at first receiver and I'm sending you out wide and I'm like, I'm giving you no nut.
Yeah. Or like, get there. I need you,
You know
there,
what I
Joey.
mean? Play on the right edge, Joey, and then I go left all day long.
Yeah. Or just cut him out.
He's gonna, yeah, and I'll cut him out because I throw sick cutout nuts.
Yeah.
He's gonna play shit footy all year. So maybe I'm like,
There's an ulterior motive at play.
Yeah.
And then just like put shit on him at the beers after. Just constantly sleep him, bring him down,
Joey
chop
brings
him.
a beers every week.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get one because I'm thirsty because I was first receiver.
Mate, you're selling it. You're selling it. Absolutely selling it. Now, this may be out of the realms of possibility, but the Foz dog, Kieran Foran, let's say he's got another year in him, or maybe, let's say it's another year. Even though I think he's playing fucking
Yeah, he's
fantastic.
at least got another year in him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely another year. But
But
let's
this
say
way, he's got another prem in him.
but could you go, Joey, come play centre for the year, and then you replace Foran if he does choose to retire next year or the year after?
At Manly.
Yeah. And you have Tommy, you have DCE, Joey at 6.
Would take that.
I don't think that our salary cap allows it.
No, I don't think so either.
What about Bronx? How good would that be? Reynolds, Manu at 6, Selwyn at fullback, Tessie in centres.
So how would that call go? Joey, mate, you want to come up and win a couple of spoons?
No. I don't think we'll be like that. That's the Bucks chat.
Well, it'd certainly, you'd have to, he'd
We
have
got
to know
Corpies.
where you put the
Look, if there's
spoons,
one
though.
thing Broncos have, we got
They
Corpies.
do have Corpies.
We got
Broncos,
Corpies way
Corpie
more
Central.
than Manly. Fuck me.
No, which we're on the Corpy circuit in Manly. Trust
You
me,
are
it's
literally
not
part
good.
of the Corpy circuit.
It's not good.
You get a free stand-up routine from you guys. That's part of the Manly
not- and that
Corpy
was-
circuit.
Which is invaluable.
Yeah, no, it's look, I wouldn't be going to Manly for the Corpy scene, but you can come for Prems. You're not going to get them at Brisbane. That's for damn sure.
I think
But
you're
are
more
gonna
likely to
take
get him
it.
at Brisbane than Manly. Honestly, I'm very concerned about Manly's future in the comp. But Joey, look, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the great Joey Manu. Now, Brandon Smith has had 4 contracts offered on November 1st. So on November 1st, the email was filled up with 4 serious offers. Allegedly, one of them, the Gold Coast Titans. Is he the hop? I think Manu's the most valuable person on the market, but is Cheese the hottest property in the game right now?
I would agree with that. I think that the reason he's better as well than Manu, not from obviously like a specifically playing standpoint, but off the field marketability. Obviously been in some hot water doing some washing of some
Omo.
shirts with the Omo.
Yeah, which
over
is
the-
it's devastating that he's been the fake news
Yeah, it's
has
fucking fake news.
when he was literally just trying to remove stains.
He's also a tried and tested hooker at the Storm and was a bee's dick off winning a comp.
well, back-to-back comps.
Yeah,
Whereas Manu is like a centre who can play halves, can play number 1.
I think he's a fullback out and out, Manu.
Do we know that as
Oh,
a fact?
Oh, I think so. Like I think he's played enough games at fullback and played really well to say that he's actually he's a fullback playing
Playing
centre,
centre.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's
But I
no
know
taking
you
away
mean.
from he's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
But Brand
He is
Smith,
hot
he's
property.
hot as fuck too.
He's hot property.
Pushing out one of the, like, arguably the fucking, the heir to the throne.
Well, it's certainly what
That
everyone
was
was
Cameron
saying.
Smith.
But do you think the Storm, who would they be prioritising if you're the Storm? Who would you prioritise,
Well, the
Smith or Grant?
Problem is Grant's locked in
Have to be great.
till 2023, I think.
Okay. So that's the answer.
So I think Storm chose not to offer Dale Finucane a substantial offer. They offered him, but obviously not, because they went in the direction of Cheese. That's my understanding of that at the very minimum, Cheese is going to play lock at the very minimum. I think you keep him at 3rd. I thought he was fantastic at 9. I thought he was their best player last year.
Yeah.
Him and Nico Hines, probably the best player. Now, the reports were he got offered about 600K. But he's definitely 800K, in my opinion, the Brandon Smith, the Cheese.
yeah.
How do you reckon he'd go at the Titans? It'd be pretty hot with him there.
Oh, they'd be hot. They need a good hooker. The concern I have, though, and I think we've spoken about this before, is that let's say you go to Titans and they struggle. First of all, everyone loves a larrikin from a winning team. From a losing team, not so much. I love a larrikin regardless, but you know what the public's
Yes.
like.
Journos don't.
They do not. I mean, look at Will Chambers. Sledges blokes his whole life, says a few words for the Sharks, and all of a sudden he's the biggest piece of shit in history.
I know, dude, that was crazy.
Also, if you go to the Titans and you struggle, you lose the aura when you retire of a Melbourne Storm. You stay at the Storm, you win a couple of Prems, the corpy scene for ex-Storm players.
Oh, yeah. Red hot.
They're the number one hottest property on the market is an ex-Storm player on the corpy scene.
Yeah, piping hot.
Piping hot.
Yeah.
And so...
Completely agree. Has he won a comp with them?
Yeah, he won last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's won a
You're dead
comp.
right. So he's won a comp. I know what you're saying. Does he come down there and sort of like push himself to that next level, which is like multiple comp winner, big dick player, or do you roll the fucking dice?
Mate, it's interesting. But over how much? It just depends how much he's being offered now.
It's going to have
contract.
to be a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's on 6?
They allegedly, the report is that he's being offered 6. He's probably on about 300K right now.
What if he jags 8?
It's pretty tasty.
8 over 4 years. Let's say it's a 4-year deal. That's what...
3.2.
So, but as in the difference between 8 and 600, so you're only looking at about 800K difference over the 4-year period. Is 800K worth not winning prems, potentially?
We've already won one.
Yeah, but winning multiple.
I think it's more like, obviously winning prems is like what you want, but it's like, how's the club actually just going? Like, you could be still in contention, playing finals footy, fucking still ripping, and I think that's still worth it to go to a club like that. But if you go to the Titans, who are like, they've got some great young players, they're unproven largely. If they just go there and it sucks fucking dicks, to put it eloquently.
Yeah, that is eloquent.
Then, you know, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe it's not worth it. But
Well put.
yeah, if they go there and they're fucking ripping.
Well put. Couldn't agree more.
Thank you so much.
Now, the other clubs, who do you think it is? Is it the Bulldogs? Do you consider the Bulldogs? Or is Titans really the only one that you would get up and about for?
I don't know. I can't read the Bulldogs right now because there was obviously when you talk about turds as we did, they were the personification of turds in 2021.
And they're doing more than us. So if they're turds, we're sewage, but you know what I mean?
Well, we're not playing. So in the context of rugby league,
Again, I thought
turds.
I was fairly clear earlier.
Yeah.
If you're not a chance in the comp, you're a turd.
Okay.
That's no disrespect.
It's not us saying that we are turds and you're a turd. We're not turds because we're not playing NRL.
Okay. I just want to be clear so they don't think
It's
we're having a
more
dig at
if you can't win a comp in this conversation,
You're a turd.
you're a turd.
them. But it's all love. We love you.
It's
and
all
we don't
love.
no
Of course,
disrespect.
it's all love. Don't take it the wrong way. Have a laugh.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, mate, honestly, if you're a fucking starter,
But I just can't get a read on the Dogs, is what I was saying. It was like,
Well,
they've signed a lot of backs.
they
and
don't
they've,
have. They
you
don't
just
have a
trying,
half.
Well, they've got Burton though, right? So like, I'm just trying. I don't know what to read on them into like how much they're
I
going to
can't
improve.
get a read on that because he's played so much at centre.
Yeah, but like if you're talking about the cheese and like where do you go? It's like, well, the Dogs have signed a bunch of good players, but is that like they're all sort of like individual good players?
Will they gel together?
Will they all
Who's
gel
their,
together?
who's their 9?
That's Jeremy Marshall King, which
Yeah.
he showed
So
improvement.
6 is Burton, 7 is
Maybe Averillo, but
Wakeham.
maybe Flanagan.
13.
Flanagan,
13 will
Josh Jackson,
be...
or is he 12?
Oh, fuck. Asiata. John Asiata, they just signed him.
Number 1.
Number 1, Dufty or Addo Carr. Initially, there was a lot of push for Addo Carr to be there, but now that's kind of died down a bit. But what is interesting is Gus Gould is a king on the Corby scene as well.
Oh yeah.
So maybe there's a bit of Corby dollar there. I don't know. I can't see him leaving Storm. I think he'll stay for another year, another contract, and then he may go somewhere else.
The Gus Gould factor actually is worth consideration as well with the Dogs.
The Dogs will turn around.
Yeah.
Gus Gould's involved. They will turn
Yeah.
around. He has the pull in every fucking part of every system, whether it's government, rugby league, community. He's got pull in, and he'll find a way to turn that club around, in my opinion, and including everyone else as well.
You reckon it'd be cool to hang out with Gus?
I think so.
I'd like to hang out with Gus for an arvo. One where it was like you're not just generally intimidated by his presence, because I feel like he's such a big dick swinger that you'd be like, holy shit.
You need to find some common ground.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, straight off the bat. You
Off
don't
the
want to
bat.
wait a few hours and then all
If
of a
you
sudden.
walked in there and you were fucking dribbling mess trying to impress Gus, he'd smell you a mile away.
A mile
and go,
away.
Fuck off.
He'd go,
mate."
can you get this guy to leave my
Yeah.
booth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gus has a Magoo detector.
Oh, shit, yeah, he can
One
tell.
of the great Magoo detectives of all time.
He could see a Magoo coming.
Yeah.
a
One
mile
of the great Magoo
Like, he can
detectives.
see couples and be like, you've only ever had sex in missionary.
Yeah.
That's how good.
That's a missionary
But
shirt.
you know what Gus as well can do? He can turn alphas into Magoos.
Yes. Yep.
Remember
that's
when Laurie
great.
Daly looked for a seat in Origin?
And Daly's a fucking
And
alpha.
Daly's an alpha.
Yep.
And he couldn't find a seat.
Well, he never recovered from that moment.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
He's never been the same.
No, he's
So
never been
you'd
the
want to you want to have your fucking T's crossed and your I's dotted, bro. If you're gonna hang out with the big fella.
Yeah.
What kind of tactic are you playing? Are you going extremely firm handshake?
Oh, fuck
are you
yeah. No,
trying
you
to
gotta-
tip the dominant side?
It's not even that. It's like you've got to rock up firm.
Yeah.
You've got to
Yeah,
rock
yeah.
up and bring some level of respect to your handshake at a minimum.
The handshake's got to be rock
Are
solid.
you callousing your hands before you go? Maybe spend 2 weeks in the gym, callus them up.
I'm just shaking hands with as many blokes as I can line up.
Yeah, getting some handshakes under your belt.
Just getting some shakes under your belt. Got to get some shakes under your belt.
You do have
Because
to
we
get
don't shake as much as we think we do.
Well, certainly not in a post-COVID world either. You know what I mean?
I think you need shakes
Is
under
the
your belt.
shake a forgotten art due to COVID?
Oh, it's coming back.
It's coming
come
back.
back?
Yeah,
People
yeah.
like there's some people like we'll never shake again. Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
But you know
too-
what? You won't last a second with Gus Gould with that fucking attitude.
Mate, anyone
shake.
born in the COVID era, he won't even talk to you.
No.
You got to shake and shake well. And then, mate, fucking hell, good luck to you.
Mate, I do believe I don't want to live in a world that doesn't have a good, strong, firm handshake.
That's what I'm saying.
And there's nothing more off-putting than when you shake someone's hand and it's not good.
Yeah,
Or when
nah.
you fuck up a handshake, because sometimes you you just don't stick the fucking
Yes.
the docking.
Yeah.
And you know that you're coming across as a pussy because you fucked it up.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I will say, though, is that the line of the aggressive handshake, there's nothing more beta, in my opinion, than a person that tries to hurt your hand shaking it.
There's a Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
You just want to be
Goldilocks zone.
firm but fair.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't see a whole lot of that in my experience.
Yeah.
What I find off-putting is limp,
Yeah.
poor connection, and more important than anything, lack of eye contact.
Lack
Yeah.
of eye contact, like the look away.
Or look down.
If you look away, look down, look over your shoulder.
What about
you've
thoughts
lost
on
me.
the slight head nod? Does that add to, like, looking dead in the eye, and does that add to the alpha, or
I
too
just
much?
think that, no, I don't mind a head nod. I don't think you necessarily make the head nod your thing, but I don't think
you
that a
need
head
it.
nod, you don't need it, but sometimes I don't think that it's you're not cognizant of the fact you're doing it. You're like, hey, mate, you know?
How do you feel about this?
I am happy for you. I'm happy to receive it. I don't really give a fuck either way.
I don't give it.
I'm not really a...
Yeah, I think it's
You're
a
not.
bit much.
You think it's a bit much.
Yeah.
Personal space kind of stuff.
Well, I think it's like if I know you well and it's
Yeah.
a bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
If you're meeting someone for the first time and you rock that, I think
what
it's a big
about
day.
what about that? But shoulder tap.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
condescending?
Condescending.
Look at me.
Someone you haven't met?
Fuck.
No,
Ever
but
met him?
no. But what if you're just being introduced like, oh, g'day, mate, how you doing?
Nah.
Mate, it's probably a bit condescending. Even
It's
just doing it to you, I
condescending.
felt
It's
it.
condescending. It is condescending.
hell.
If you don't know them,
What if you know him? What about this then? What if you know
if you
him?
know them, it's all out the fucking
Yeah.
window. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
You know 'em, you don't know 'em well.
Any of this shit we're talking about is not important.
What about the?
I'm talking about a fucking, I don't know the fuck you are, look you in the eyes, handshake.
Yeah, first time we're meeting.
If you tap Phil Gould on the shoulder, what do you reckon's going to happen?
He'll be
Fair
like,
dinkum.
yeah,
Might
he'll
fight ya.
Yeah.
He'd fucking oath he'd fight you.
Or he'd
knock
dislocate
you
your
out.
shoulder.
He'd rip your arm out of your sock and go, fuck off, mate.
Now, what about the offering of peace, where you slightly turn it like that to show I'm not trying to trespass on your personal space or alpha dog the area. We're equal footing, and I'm offering you the peace. What thoughts
So
on
what?
that?
So you're saying rather than just like a dead
Well,
straight.
sometimes like people will try to get the dominant. Whereas if you're going like that, it's very open.
I don't mind that because again, it shows you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You're not trying to be tough. You're not trying to. You're just like, yeah, bro, we're all good.
Because like that is, to me, if someone comes in like that, you're a beta trying to be an alpha.
Well, I think it's about the intensity of you coming in like
Yeah.
that. If you're just coming in like that, first time you're meeting
Depends
someone.
where you put it, though. Because if you come in too low, it's inviting a...
You could make an error. Yeah, confusion.
What, a bad shake.
Yeah,
Or-
because they think
it's
you're doing
inviting
that.
well, there you go. Well, hang on. Am I slapping this guy down?
That's also you don't want to do
What
that.
am I doing? Am I
when you
hugging
get in
down?
between a fucking dap
I reckon
and a-
you just go in... So if I'm right-handed and everyone shakes right-handed,
Yeah,
they
you go into his right.
Yep. But I think if you cock it like that, that's you're trying to dominate.
Well, that's ridiculous. You just go in.
yeah.
just keep it
perpendicular.
straight,
Okay.
180 degrees.
Thoughts on
horizontal to the ground.
lefties being discriminated against now? Do you think there is a movement for lefties to go, well, hang on a sec, we're people too, we should be able to shake left-handed?
Bruh, I'm left-handed.
Thoughts?
You shake right.
Shakes, but that's internalized oppression.
Well, you're right. It is.
It's
Yes.
not though, but like it's just weight of numbers.
Yeah.
It's weight of numbers, yeah,
Well,
but
I
we
don't
have
know,
to be
like
able
a
to
cultural
protect.
tradition.
I don't know what the left to right statistic is, Matty, but it's probably what? Is it 80-20?
But the key to any good democracy is protecting your minorities and giving them a voice, an equal voice. And I feel like lefties deserve an equal voice, an equal seat at the table.
But then are you saying that lefties, and I am one, that I'm being discriminated against even just by the way that I've been told to set my cutlery up?
Yeah,
fork on the left.
absolutely.
Because I actually think there's a lot of benefit to having left fork.
That's what I mean. And like, I can even tell you wanna be stronger about it, but you're also culturally you've been oppressed to feel like I don't deserve to talk about it like this, you know? And I think that like 2 generations from now, you'll be seen as the old internalized guy that didn't stand up for his rights. The new younger generation.
The new gen is going to be like, I'm shaking left-handed.
I'm shaking left-handed because I'm left-handed.
10% are left-handed of the world.
Got to protect your minorities.
Listen,
Do you though?
do ya? Not all of them anyway. Not all.
Not left-handed ones.
Because you know what'll happen? You know what'll happen? We'll all start shaking lefty, and then someone will go, "What about the poor righties?"
Yeah. Or they'll be going, what about people who
You know
prefer
what
to
I mean?
shake hands
And then we'll have to
with
go
feet?
back again.
You got to start shaking
only
somebody's
people
foot.
Feet shake.
The only people I feel sorry for is like my grandma, who was a lefty, forced to right righty.
Yeah, that was crazy. They used to do that back in the
What,
day.
sorry?
She was a lefty,
Yeah.
who was forced to right righty.
They used to force people to right
Because it was like uncouth or whatever.
What?
To right left.
That's wild.
Whereas like shaking hands like a fucking very brief interaction. Whereas like imagine changing your whole
Yep.
setup.
That is fucking tough.
Yeah.
Thoughts on like, is your preferred, when you're meeting someone, is it preferred the shake or the bro shake?
It depends who I'm talking to.
If I don't know you, I'll always shake.
Yeah. Okay.
If I know you, then fucking come here, smooch me, hug me, get
Yeah.
into it.
So the closer you are, the more likely you
If
are.
you shake, if I heard like if Tom shook my hand or not out, I'd be like,
Yeah, we don't shake hands.
we don't never. We wouldn't. When was the last time we shook hands? We
Couldn't
made
tell you.
probably 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay. Well, you've just got.
But I've kissed him.
Well,
Oh,
that's
we
good.
kissed.
That's great. Well, you've just got a full
Don't you
breakdown of the handshaking world.
Oh, that helps.
Let us know in the comment section whether lefties have been unfairly discriminated against and they do deserve a voice in the shaking of hands.
I also think that at some point in history, this conversation will be looked back on as like just one of the more important conversations around handshaking ever.
I tell you what would happen if we went from right to left. You'd lose the handshake.
You just eradicate it because it's
No,
too much
because
confusion.
otherwise you'd go. Imagine this situation: walk up to someone you haven't met. What are we doing? Are we doing right or left?
See, the whole point of it, it's just
But that could be
The
kind of
whole
like.
thing. It just. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, some people, he, she, all that kind of stuff, you've got to ask first because you don't want to offend.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I'm going to ask not to offend, which is fine, may as well not do it. That's what I'm saying. You would lose the handshake.
Okay.
I
That's what
also
I'm saying.
think that it's
You'd
not
lose
that
it.
offensive to be mishanded. You know what I mean?
See, that's internalized oppression.
No, that's not. That's me just being real. As a lefty, I'm going, listen, I like
As a lefty,
a right-handed shake. You know what? It's good to be fucking dexterous, dude. I throw a ball right-handed. I write
ya?
left-handed.
See, I'm right-footed, sorry, but I jump off my left foot.
Fuck, see, I wouldn't even know what I jump off.
you'd probably jump left. Most people jump off
Yeah,
the left.
most pe-
you'd probably jump off your right.
Well, most people jump off their strong leg, like whatever their strong leg is.
I've always jumped on my left, but I've kicked left-footed.
I kick right.
So you're a left footer?
I was jammed onto the left wing when I was playing soccer.
So you're
I've always
left-footer?
kicked well, I'm not left, but I'm strong with my left. I can jump with my left.
Yeah, I can jump better off my left.
I kick with my right. That's all I know. I don't know what I
There you
jump
go,
off.
back to front.
Yeah, that's
There you
strange.
go.
No, it's not back to front. All right. What it is be good in all areas.
All right. Is that us?
All right, guys. Again, make sure to follow Hello Sport at Hello Sport on Instagram, Punters and Dribblers Group on Facebook. Subscribe to Hello Sport on any good podcasting app. About Even.
Yep.
That is also a thing to watch and do. We'll go back to giving away a free case to the betting again.
Yeah, beautiful.
So leave a comment on About Even YouTube channel, giving your bet. They will pick one. Whoever, if you beat them, we will send you a case of beer. Anything else going on, boys?
No. Nothing.
No, nothing's going on. As usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.
Bye.